Chapter 1152. For little He, Yang Wu's search for the Xian essence Qi was the most important thing. Everything else was just a small matter. Yang Wu didn't know why little He cared more about the Xian essence Qi than him, but he didn't think too much about it. He thought that little He just wanted him to break through to a higher level faster. After that, Yang Wu continued to make pellets. He planned to turn all the herbs he got from the Dragon Palace into pellets. He also sent the saints of the Yang family to the Union of Alchemists to find more herbs as soon as possible in case he needed them. There was another important thing, and that was to teach Damlong to become a saint alchemist. After Damlong had taken the second quality immortal liquid, he had reached the half-saint level. His control over fire had improved. It was enough for him to refine a saint-level demon nucleus. The only flaw was that his fire wasn't strong enough. He needed a higher-level fire seed to be able to refine it with half the effort. Yang Wu's blue enchantress was too strong for him to refine. Luckily, someone had come to help him. The Duan city master had arrived. The old monster of the Tontian state walked out of the sky. He looked expectant and said, "Where is Yang Wu, my little friend?" Even though Yang Wu was a saint alchemist, in the eyes of the old monster, he was still a little friend. Unless Yang Wu became a godly alchemist, he wouldn't be qualified to be on the same level as him. Gong Salon and Yang Wu appeared above the clouds of the Yang family to welcome the Duan city master. Duan city master, you are a bit late. Yang Wu couldn't help but tease the Duan city master when he saw him. Even if the Duan city master had the strength of the Tongtian state, he wasn't afraid anymore. After all, his great-grandmother was next to him, and little He was back. He had the confidence. "Haha, this time I came with my real body. It was a bit far," said the Duan mayor while laughing. The long scar on his face looked ferocious. He then asked, "Where's my broken sword?" Before Yang Wu had entered the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, Duan city master had given him half of his divine weapon in the hope that Yang Wu would bring back the other half. Now that he had received the message from the Yang Wu, Duan city master had rushed over to retrieve it. Yang Wu didn't dare to play any tricks in front of the Duan city lord. He took out the two halves of the Duan blade. One of the halves was obtained from the Duan city lord. Good, very good. Duan city lord was incomparably excited. In the past, he had obtained half of the broken blade and obtained the inheritance of the Tongtian level. That was why his strength had improved by leaps and bounds. Now that he had found the other half of the broken blade, his inheritance would be complete. His strength would definitely be able to advance to the next level. Duan city lord was just about to take the two halves of the blade when Gong Lan stopped him. "Duan city lord, do you still remember your promise? Don't worry, I owe the Yang clan a favor. No matter what it is, you can always ask me for help." Duan city lord replied, "This is a high-level divine weapon. Its value is extraordinary. My Wu heir risked his life to find it for you. A trivial favor is not enough." Gong Lan said, "Didn't I already give you a heavenly phoenix jade tablet and a lightning-absorbing puppet? You still want a lion to ask for it." Duan city lord said unhappily, "How can those be compared to a divine weapon?" Gong Lan took the two halves of the broken blade from Yang Wu's hand and said indifferently, "What do you want?" Duan city lord asked while suppressing his anger. "You have to owe me a favor. Give me a holy vein as compensation." "Impossible. At most I will give you a holy vein. Then I won't give you the other half of the blade. Don't go too far. You are the one who wants to take advantage of the situation. You know the value of a divine weapon better than I do." In the end, Duan city lord haggled in front of Gong Lan and gave Yang Wu a small holy vein as compensation. A small mid-grade saint vein contained 10,000 saint stones, which was equivalent to 10 million mid-grade saint stones. An ordinary yin and yang ring couldn't hold so many saint stones. Only a top-grade saint ring could hold so many saint stones. Duan city lord threw a yin and yang ring to Gong Lan. His face was full of pain. 10 million saint stones could buy a lot of saint pills and saint weapons. Duan city still had many saint-level creatures to raise. However, he got a complete divine weapon. Everything was worth it. After all, 10 million saint stones couldn't buy a divine weapon. If it was high-level saint stones, it might be possible to buy it. Gong Si Lan gave the two halves to Duan Rin City Lord. Duan Rin City Lord couldn't wait to leave, but Gong Si Lan stopped him. What else do you want? Duan Rin City Lord said impatiently. You still have a lover. You want to return the favor now? That's right. The Yang clan is going to hold an auction in the Yang clan city. We need someone as strong as you to protect it. Are you sure you need my favor for the Guardian District auction? This auction is very important. Even I will protect it secretly. Duanren City Lord was surprised. He saw that Gong Si Lan didn't seem to be joking. His heart skipped a beat. Is there a godly item for auction? At that moment, Yang Wu said, Lord City Lord, are you a fire Xianqi cultivator? That's right. Little friend, what can I do for you? Duanren City Lord replied. Do you have a high-level fire seed? Yang Wu asked. Then he added, a saint-level one is fine. Haha, I happen to have a saint flame stone. If you want, I can sell it to you. The price isn't low. Are you sure you want it? Duanren City Lord said with a big laugh. Saint Flame Stone was a strange stone that could help a fire grow into a saint flame. It wasn't cheap, but with Yang Wu's current wealth, he could easily buy it. It was only the price of a saint-level pill. Duanren City Lord deliberately said this to show that he wanted to take advantage of Yang Wu. Gong Si Lan was about to speak when Yang Wu stopped her. He smiled at Duanren City Lord and said, Duanren City Lord, do you know why the Yang clan needs you to protect this auction? You found a godly item in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss? Duanren City Lord asked. You can say that. Half of your blade came from there. Yang Wu said honestly. Duanren City Lord's breathing quickened. If the Yang clan really found a bunch of godly items, they really needed a piercing heaven cultivator to protect them. This auction will have a tribulation level 2 divine Dan. Yang Wu said faintly. He believed that no piercing heaven cultivator could resist the temptation of a divine Dan. All right, I promise to protect this auction. Duanren City Lord agreed. He also wanted to see what the Yang clan had found. If there was a suitable godly item or divine Dan, he would definitely bid. What about the Holy Flame Stone? Yang Wu smiled faintly. Take as a gift for you. Duanren City Lord said generously. Then he added, if there is a suitable godly item, please sell it to me first. Of course. Yang Wu smiled. Duanren City Lord was successfully asked to stay by Yang Wu. Gong Si Lan also admired Yang Wu's courage. He was actually able to directly talk to a heaven-reaching powerhouse without the slightest bit of stage fright. I don't know what Wu's limit is in the future. Gong Si Lan sighed in her heart. With Duanren City Lord staying in the Yang clan, it would be much easier to guard this auction. Yang Wu took the Holy Flame Rock. It was a rock filled with the power of the Holy Flame. There were fiery runes all over the rock, and Lan Jiaji had the urge to devour it. It was a magical stone that could help a small holy flame become a holy flame. It was also very beneficial for holy flames. Give this holy flame stone to Danlong. I will find more holy flame stones for you in the future. Yang Wu comforted Lan Yaoji. Yang Wu's power was increasing, and Blue Enchantress was becoming stronger as well. However, it would still take a long time for it to become an advanced or top-tier holy fire. If he had enough holy firestones, he might be able to help it level up earlier. When Danlong received the Holy Flame Stone, he was very grateful to Yang Wu. With this Saint Stone, he was able to enter the Celestial Mark realm smoothly, and the flame he possessed had also successfully advanced to become a Saint Flame. Under Yang Wu's guidance, he finally succeeded in refining a furnace of innocuous holy pill after destroying many furnaces of medicinal liquid. Even so, Danlong was so happy that he didn't know what to do. It meant that he had successfully become a holy pharmacist. As long as he familiarized himself with the power of the Star Rune state, his success rate would greatly increase. The guidance that Yang Wu gave him over the past few days wasn't in vain. Yang Wu also heaved a sigh of relief. With a holy pharmacist in the family, the Yang family's foundation would be further stabilized. As the date of the auction approached, the forces in the Battle Race realm and the nearby realms all received the news that the Yang family was holding an auction. The scale of this auction would reach the divine realm. It was said that there would be divine items and divine pills for auction. In the transcendent realm, Divine items were already top-level items. Ordinary forces wouldn't take them out for auction. Only divine items of unknown origin would be taken out for auction. The Yang family had declined for many years. Suddenly, they held an auction with great fanfare. They even announced that there would be divine items for auction. Many forces were skeptical. However, they soon believed that the Yang family had the ability to do so. This was because Yang Wu had come out alive from a divine treasury in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss and became an invincible emperor. This batch of divine items might have been brought out by Yang Wu. Many prodigies from various forces confirmed this news. Hence, many forces quickly rushed to the Yang family city. They wanted to see what kind of divine items the Yang family would take out for auction. In an instant, the Yang family city became incomparably lively. Many restaurants were full. There were also many martial artists walking on the streets. The merchants in the Yang family city quickly grabbed this rare opportunity to make a fortune. This time, the Yang family really took out a divine item. This is something worth paying attention to. Perhaps they can rise again in 1,000 years. The Yang family has produced a young, invincible emperor. This is already a joyous matter. If they protect him well, the Yang family might really have a chance to stand firm. It shouldn't be a problem for them to return to the top forces in 10,000 years. It's just that I don't know if this invincible emperor can live until then. No matter what, it's not wrong to befriend the Yang family. Anyway, there won't be any losses. I wonder if they will take out the Dragon Phoenix fruit for auction? Chapter 1153. The Yang clan's auction hadn't even started yet, but many forces had already sent people to inquire about it. The attraction of a godly item was too great. Very few forces were willing to put it up for auction. Apart from the people near the War Clan world, there were also people from other worlds who had arrived through the Space Gate. The Yang clan had already started promoting the auction 3 months ago. With the participation of the Duanren City Lord, the Duanren City Lord had also helped to promote the auction. There are many disciples of the Yang clan maintaining order in the Yang clan city. They couldn't allow people to cause trouble there. Otherwise, it would be a slap to the Yang clan's face. The Yang clan wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to rise again. They couldn't allow any problems to happen at this time. Fortunately, many forces restrained themselves. There weren't any conflicts for the time being. Moreover, the Yang clan had also recruited 20 saints of the starry heavenly layer to serve them so that the auction could proceed smoothly. These 20 saints had gone through many rounds of screening. They were only recruited after they were certain that there was no problem with their character. Most of them were beginner saints. Only 2 of them were mid-level saints. One of them was a level 5 starry heavenly layer, while the other was a level 4 starry heavenly layer. No matter where they went, they were considered top experts. They had all come because of Yang Wu's reputation. Before they could obtain the divine pills to increase their strength, they would do their best to work for the Yang clan. Especially since the Yang clan had put up a godly item for auction, they felt that the Yang clan still had hope. These 20 saints were enough to maintain order in the Yang clan city for the time being. The auction was getting closer and closer. Yang Wu, the young master of the Yang clan, was still in seclusion. He had concocted pills continuously for 2 months. He had helped Damlong become a sage alchemist. He had stopped concocting pills and was in seclusion to refine the soul whip he had obtained from the Flood Dragon Palace. The soul whip was a high-level holy item. It was the favorite holy weapon of creatures who cultivated soul battle techniques. There was a big difference between a soul weapon and an ordinary battle weapon. It couldn't recognize a master just by dripping blood on it. It had to be refined with one's soul power. Only then could it be used. Yang Wu's soul power was extremely strong. However, it still took him a few days to imprint his soul power on the soul weapon. After imprinting his soul power, his fighting soul would be able to use the soul striking whip. Yang Wu's war soul strength was not inferior to any high-level saint. It was just that he did not have a suitable soul weapon, so his attacks were relatively simple. Now that he had the soul striking whip, his war soul could cooperate with his real body. He was confident that he could even kill a high-level saint. If I meet that saint from the Dragon and Tiger sect again, I will definitely be able to kill him, Yang Wu said confidently. During this period of time, his body had been soaked in the inferior celestial liquid every day. His physical body had become incomparably strong, and his combat power had increased by a large margin compared to when he was in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. It could be said that he had reached the limit of the dragon transformation realm. The combat power he could unleash was not inferior to that of a mid-tier saint. Coupled with his trump cards, it would not be difficult for him to kill a mid-tier saint. He also had some confidence in dealing with a high-tier saint. Yang Wu flipped his hand and took out a dozen sealing beads, which were also obtained from the Jiao Dragon tribe. They were the inheritance methods left behind by the human tribe, but he did not know what kind of battle arts or battle skills they contained. Yang Wu's strength was no longer the same as before. He could determine the grade of these sealing beads through their sealing techniques. Among these dozen sealing beads, 3 were heaven grade, 8 were minor saint grade, and 4 were saint grade. He could not determine the grade of one of them. A heaven grade sealing technique meant that the inheritance was left behind by a heavenly fish realm warrior. A minor saint grade sealing technique was left behind by a dragon transformation realm warrior. A saint grade sealing technique was definitely left behind by a star rune realm warrior. Now, Yang Wu had no interest in heaven grade or minor saint battle skills. Only saint grade battle skills could move his heart. Now, he did not have many top grade battle skills. Other than the star-swallowing sword art that he had just obtained, the tyrannical divine palm was the strongest. The rest was his self-created martial god fist, which was the fusion of brute fist and black tortoise tyrant fist. Lightning finger's attack was more monotonous. Reverse dragon spear art and Luo water spear art were stronger than stellar sword art, thousand transformation fist, and Styx river spear art. That cheap master of his was too stingy. He had only taught him 3 minor saint skills. Now that he had the combat strength of a star rune realm warrior, it would be difficult for him to unleash his full strength without saint grade battle skills. He was ready to open the 4 sealing beads to see if there were any suitable saint grade battle skills for him. One of the sealing beads cracked under the attack of Yang Wu's spiritual will. An inherited spiritual will power swept into Yang Wu's soul. Golden Cave Sacred Palm was indeed a saint grade battle skill. It was a high grade battle skill. Unfortunately, it was a battle skill that only gold profound Qi warriors could cultivate. Yang Wu sighed and opened the second sealing bead. Another battle skill appeared in his mind. This time, it was a wood profound Qi Saint grade battle skill, 3000 Willows Sword. It was a mid-grade battle skill. Then, Yang Wu opened the remaining 2 sealing beads in one breath. One was a beginner holy skill, Python Coiling Arm, and the other was a top holy skill, Mountain Cleaving Blade Technique. The former was an arm technique, suitable for warriors with water Xianqi to practice, while the latter was suitable for warriors with earth Xianqi to practice. Yang Wu sighed in disappointment. Only Python Wrapping Arm is suitable for me. Unfortunately, it's a binding flexible arm technique. He thought for a moment and said, "Fortunately, I've cultivated Tai Chi and Tai Chi Sword. Perhaps I can also cultivate this arm technique and increase the power of my Barbarian God's arm. It can reach the realm of strength and flexibility." And so, Yang Wu began to meditate on the cultivation method of Python Wrapping Arm. He wanted to comprehend this battle skill as soon as possible. It was only a primary grade battle skill. With Yang Wu's comprehension, it didn't take long for him to completely comprehend it. Then, Yang Wu integrated this battle skill into his Barbarian God's Arm technique. The Barbarian God's Arm technique was fierce and domineering, and Python Wrapping Arm was a flexible arm technique. It wasn't easy to integrate it. Yang Wu used the method of Tai Chi to verify the 2 battle skills. He waved his arms continuously, trying to find a way to achieve strength and flexibility. This time, Yang Wu spent 7 days to find a way to integrate this battle skill into his Barbarian God's Arm technique. He murmured, "The Barbarian God's Arm technique's power mainly comes from the position of the acupoints. The Python Wrapping Arm technique that I've cultivated focuses on the swinging technique of the arm technique. When I'm not using the talent, I'll use the wrapping arm technique to the extreme. When I'm attacking, I'll use the wrapping arm technique. After Yang Wu found the right direction, he spent another 3 days to integrate Python wrapping arm technique into his Barbarian God's arm technique. This meant that when he used the Barbarian God's arm technique again, he could use both strength and flexibility. His attacks would be more tricky and impossible to guard against. There were still 7 days before the auction. Yang Wu didn't plan to go out yet. Instead, he opened the sealing bead of unknown level. "Don't disappoint me too much," Yang Wu murmured and sent his spiritual force into the sealing bead. Pung! This time, his spiritual force was unable to break the sealing bead. "Maybe it's a divine skill," Yang Wu said excitedly. He once again used an even stronger spiritual force to attack the sealing bead. Pung pung! Yang Wu continuously used his spiritual force to attack, but was still unable to break the sealing bead. He realized that this sealing bead must contain a powerful battle skill. "God-beating whip, come!" Yang Wu shouted, and a short gray whip appeared. Under the control of his battle soul, it lashed towards the sealing bead. The saint-rank God-beating whip could greatly increase the power of the soul. Even a peak saint might not be able to withstand this whip. A formless soul power lashed onto the sealing bead and finally broke the restriction on the sealing bead. Swoosh! The sealing bead's inheritance went into Yang Wu's celestial palace. A figure filled with vast power appeared in Yang Wu's mind. He held a battle sword and attacked wildly. Every slash contained the power to destroy heaven and earth. The common people were so insignificant in front of him. Even the stars were destroyed by his sword radiance. Apocalyptic Frenzy Blade, a divine skill. Yang Wu had the Death Scythe, but he had never cultivated a powerful sword skill. Now that a sword skill had appeared, he was extremely surprised. Moreover, this divine skill was a divine skill that had no attribute. No matter what kind of celestial chi a martial artist cultivated, it could be cultivated. Its value was immeasurable. Ordinary battle skills could only be cultivated with a specific attribute. This kind of non-attribute battle skill was extremely rare. It was even more difficult to create one. Even 3 divine skills might not be able to exchange for such a divine skill. Once it was passed down, everyone could cultivate it. It could be passed down continuously. Its significance was extraordinary. Yang Wu was ecstatic. In the past, he did not cultivate sword skills, but it did not mean that he did not want to now. With this divine skill in front of him, he had to cultivate it. Otherwise, it would be a great waste. Apocalyptic Frenzy Blade had a total of 3 moves. The first move was Demon Slayer, the second move was Demon Slayer, and the third move was Apocalyptic. To cultivate this divine skill, one must have the strength of an advanced saint to be able to support the energy consumption of the sword skill. Otherwise, it would be difficult to cultivate. Yang Wu was far from reaching that level, but if he wanted to cultivate the first move, Demon Slayer, he could barely do it. His fighting soul was not inferior to a top saint. Yang Wu meditated for 5 days but still could not get started. He could only scratch the surface. This sword skill was too difficult to learn. Just one slash contained thousands of changes. With one slash, thousands of demons were destroyed. Yang Wu stopped cultivating. He stood up and murmured, "I have gained a lot this time. It's time to go out and see how the auction is going." This auction was very important. As the young master of the Yang clan, he had to go and see it for himself. After this auction, he had to bring Little Man to the Sacred Flame sect to settle the matter with Little Man. When Yang Wu came out of seclusion, Wan Lanxin and Little Man were strolling around the Yang clan. Recently, the 2 sisters had been sticking together. It was as if they had endless things to talk about. They were beautiful and had outstanding temperaments. Today, trouble came knocking on their door. These 2 girls are so beautiful. One has a good figure and a perky, but the other is pure and cute. She's my type. Chapter 1154. Now that the Yang family city was in a state of martial law, many of the original residents of the Yang family city would not cause trouble during this period. The Yang family was showing signs of rising. The Lin gang could be destroyed at any time, so they would not touch the Yang family at this time. But as more and more outsiders poured in, there would always be some good and bad people coming in. Wan Lanxin was valiant and valiant. while little man was pure and beautiful. The two of them walked on the official road, and it was a first-class scene. Some bold fanatics had their eyes on them and chased them all the way. Wan Lanxin and little man did not want to cause trouble, but the other party was like a sticky candy, relentlessly chasing after them, and his words were very unpleasant. Wan Lanxin finally could not take it anymore. She turned around and glared at the lecher, shouting, "Nothing good comes out of a dog's mouth. Get out of here, or don't blame us for being rude." In front of Wan Lanxin was a young man with an evil aura. He was dressed in luxurious clothes, wearing a holy jade and holding a beauty fan. A pair of lustful eyes wandered over Wan Lanxin and little man. His appearance was so wretched that any woman could not stand it. What a hot girl. I like it." The young man laughed and said, "Two beauties, how do I address you? I am Chu Yin, and I would like to invite the two beauties to enjoy the flowers and the moon. I wonder if you could do me the honor. Get out of here and enjoy the flowers and the moon with your mother." Wan Lanxin was already sick of it, and she suddenly shouted, "Sister Lanxin, let's ignore him." Little man pulled Wan Lanxin and said, "It seems that the two of you are not going to do me the honor and force me to be rough." The young man called Chu Yin said with a gloomy expression. He released a wisp of holy qi and locked onto Wan Lanxin and little man. He even reached out a hand to grab them. This young man was in the star pattern realm. "Get out of my way." The little man yelled and stood in front of Wan Lanxin, throwing a punch at Chu Yin. The little man's brute force was extremely domineering. A casual punch from her was comparable to the strength of an ordinary saint. Chu Yin's palm strength was scattered by the little man's punch. His expression changed slightly. "You have some skills, but it's not enough." Chu Yin laughed and waved the fan of beauty, causing a peculiar smell to permeate the air. Wan Lanxin and the little man were caught off guard. They breathed in the faint smell and suddenly felt a little dizzy. The little man had been tempered in all kinds of dangerous situations for many years, so his reaction was extremely fast. He instantly understood that this smell was strange and activated his power to expel this power. Who would have thought that Chu Yin would attack them again? The little man blocked Chu Yin. When she activated her power, she could not divert her attention to expel the power. Her mind was in a trance. "Sister Lanxin, let's go." The little man was pure, but she was not stupid. She did not want to be entangled with the other party. She pulled Wan Lanxin and wanted to leave. At this time, Wan Lanxin was about to faint. "Haha, you can't leave. Stay with me." Chu Yin laughed wildly and increased his strength to bind the two girls. As long as he entangled them for a while, the two girls would be at his mercy. His fan of beauty contained the ecstasy fragrance. This kind of ecstasy fragrance was something that even a saint might not be able to resist. He had used this trick to capture many beauties, and it had been tested time and time again. Who dares to cause trouble in the Yang family city? At this time, a group of Yang family soldiers rushed over, and the leader shouted, "Get out!" Chu Yin did not take the Yang family seriously at all. His Saint Qi swept out, shaking the guards until they fell to the ground. The strongest of these guards was only a small saint. If they could withstand Chu Yan's Saint Qi, the next moment, Chu Yin grabbed the two girls again. The little man only felt that her head was heavy and her feet were light. She could not concentrate on dealing with Chu Yin. When they were about to be caught, a saint voice sounded. "Causing trouble is forbidden in the Yang family city. Please stop." A Yang family consecrator appeared. He was a saint who had recently joined the Yang family. He was a second-level star pattern realm cultivator. "I am Chu Yin from the Chu family. These two are my women. Don't meddle in other people's business. Otherwise, even if you are from the Yang family, you will not be able to bear the consequences," Chu Yin said very domineeringly. "Chu family from the great mountain boundary." The second-level star pattern realm saint narrowed his eyes. "It's good that you know. Don't meddle in other people's business." Chu Yin sneered. The second-level star pattern realm saint did not dare to move. The great mountain boundary was also near the border of the war race. The Chu family was also a first-class force. It was rumored that they had a unique secret technique that was very powerful. They had always wanted to become the ninth war race. Unfortunately, they had never succeeded. Over the years, the Chu family had been secretly weakening the Yang family's power. However, they did not do it as openly as the Xing family, so their relationship with the Yang family was not as bad as imagined. Not long ago, an ancestor of the Chu family broke through to the Heaven Pass realm. The Chu family's reputation soared. More people were optimistic that the Chu family could replace the Yang family, who knew that the great-grandmother of the Yang family would not die. If this great-grandmother did not die, the Chu family would not have a chance, unless their ancestors' strength reached a higher level and could suppress the great-grandmother of the Yang family. It was just that no one knew when that day would come. However, the general strength of the Chu family was not inferior to the Yang family. They had many saints in the star pattern realm. The younger generation was very strong. If Yang Taihe had not returned, the Yang family would not have a saint comparable to them. The outside world was generally optimistic about the rise of the Chu family. Unfortunately, every time the Chu family saw hope, it was extinguished. The Yang family had another monster. He had just become a peak saint elder of the Apothecary Alliance and had become an invincible young emperor. He had completely suppressed the Chu family's momentum. This time, the Yang family's auction item might have been brought back by Yang Wu. The Chu family sent people to find out if it was true. Chu Yin was in the top 3,000 of the previous Heavenly Dragon ranking. He was slightly weaker than Yang Jinghai, but he had entered the level 1-star pattern realm not long ago. It was not difficult for him to fight a level 2-star pattern realm saint. Chu Yan's status in the Chu family was not low. His only flaw was that he was lustful. The Yang family's level 2-star pattern realm consecrator knew about the Chu family and did not want to offend them. He did not know who these two women were and could only sigh in his heart. You can only blame yourselves for being unlucky. This consecrator had given up on Wan Lan Xin and the little man. In his opinion, they were just two women. It would be fine as long as Chu Yin did not cause trouble here. At this moment, another consecrator came over. You are not allowed to cause trouble in the Yang family city. This consecrator came to the side of Wan Lan Xin and the little man, protecting them behind him. Chu Yan's eyes narrowed as he roared at this consecrator. Who do you think you are? If you don't scram, don't blame me for not giving the Yang family face. This consecrator was weaker than the previous one. He was only at the level 1-star pattern realm. His name was He Ji Xiao. His name was a little weird, and his appearance was a little weird. His nose was as sharp as a chicken's beak, but he had a righteous aura. It was indeed impressive. He Ji Xiao, don't get involved in this matter. Let him take them away. The level 2-star pattern realm saint transmitted. Consecrator Qin Huang, we have already joined the Yang family. We have to take care of everything that happens in the Yang family city. Moreover, this fella clearly drugged the two ladies. If they have any power behind them, it will definitely implicate our Yang family. He Ji Xiao analyzed. Those who block me will be killed. Chu Yin had already lost his patience as he glared at He Ji Xiao. Please leave immediately. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. He Ji Xiao faced Chu Yin and said, All right, then you can go and die. Chu Yin shouted. A faint yellow light appeared on his palm as he slapped it towards He Ji Xiao. The power of a casual palm from a saint was like the impact of a mountain. It was hard to block. He Ji Xiao punched out with both his fists. Bang! He Ji Xiao and Chu Yin were at the same level. However, He Ji Xiao was pushed back dozens of feet by Chu Yan's palm. The difference between the two was obvious. Consecrator Chen Huang, follow me and take him down. He Ji Xiao called out to the level 2-star pattern realm saint. The consecrator called Chen Huang hesitated. He didn't dare to offend a young saint from the Chu family. He had never been that courageous. He knew the principle of putting his own safety first. No one can save you today. Chu Yin didn't want to stall for time. Otherwise, more people from a Yang family would come, and his matter would be difficult. After he said that, he attacked again. Another palm slapped towards He Ji Xiao. The power of this palm was even stronger than before. He Ji Xiao didn't hesitate to take out his battle weapon to block it. Just as he blocked the power of this palm, Chu Yin quietly appeared behind him and slapped his back again. He Ji Xiao spat out a mouthful of blood as his body was sent flying. The consecrator of the Yang family is only so, Chu Yin said disdainfully. In the next moment, he charged towards Wan Lanxin and the little man fight. The little man got He Ji-xiao to stall for time. She forced out some of the medicinal power of the soul, enchanting incense, and raised her strength to punch out. She could only unleash half of the power of this punch, so the threat was limited. Chu Yin grabbed the power of the little man's fist and directly crushed it. Another binding force trapped the little man and Wan Lanxin, tying them together. Beauties, come with me. I will definitely make you as happy as immortals. Let's go quickly. Otherwise, my young master won't let you go. He is the young master of the Yang family, the little man said loudly. When Chun Huang heard this, he was so frightened that he shuddered. He really wanted to help, but he was still struggling in his heart. He Ji-xiao had already gotten up again and slashed towards Chu Yin. Don't you dare act violently in the Yang family city. He Ji-xiao forced out all his strength. With the support of strands of star power, his attack turned into the shape of a chicken and struck towards Chu Yin. Who does the Yang family think they are? I gave you face, but you don't want it. Chu Yin was really angry. He waved the fan of beauty and directly shattered He Ji-xiao's power. The fan of beauty continued to strike towards He Ji-xiao's forehead. It's over. He Ji-xiao didn't have the ability to dodge. His opponent was much stronger than him. Just as he was about to be beaten to death, a force swept past and pulled him away. A thunderous voice rang out. Acting so atrociously in my Yang family's territory and even capture my women. Do you want to die? Chapter 1155. There were only 2 days left until the auction, and many cultivators had already arrived at the Yang family city. Everything that Chu Yin had done in the Yang family city had already been seen by many people. These people didn't intervene because they wanted to see how the Yang family would deal with it. In the end, only one of the 2 foreign consecrators of the Yang family made a move. They secretly laughed and felt that the loyalty of the Yang family was too low. However, He Ji-xiao was a little hot-blooded and dared to attack Chu Yin. Seeing that He Ji-xiao was about to be killed by Chu Yin, many holy qi surged from other directions. These were the consecrators of the Yang family. They sat in different directions and needed some time to rush over. If they waited for them to save He Ji-xiao, he would definitely die. At the critical moment, someone saved He Ji-xiao. It's Saint Master Yang Wu. When did he come? Someone exclaimed. It's really Saint Master Yang Wu. There's a good show to watch this time, someone echoed. I've long heard of young clan leader Yang Wu's name. Seeing him today, he's indeed a dragon among men. I'm afraid that even a saint can't compare to his boldness. The top saint elder of the Apothecary Alliance, the young clan leader of the Yang family, the invincible emperor of this year's battle of the dragons and phoenixes. He's the most dazzling demon in our battle world. Chu Yin is the prodigy of the previous heavenly dragon list. Now that he's a saint, he's not easy to deal with. Thank you, young clan leader, He Ji-xiao said excitedly after seeing the person who saved him. Yang Wu was still very young, but he had already become a legend. Not everyone could meet him. It was also He Ji-xiao's first time seeing Yang Wu. Chu Yin did not kill He Ji-xiao. When he saw Yang Wu again, jealousy immediately rose in his heart. Is he Yang Wu, the young clan leader of the Yang family? He's so young. Chu Yin did not dare to stay. He bound the 2 women and prepared to leave quickly. If he did not leave now, there would be some trouble. You really have guts, even grabbing this young master's woman. I don't know who gave you the courage. Yang Wu angrily shouted, his figure flashing as he mercilessly struck out a palm towards Chu Yin. Even if the other party was at the Star Mark realm, Yang Wu did not place him in his eyes. Yang Wu's actions were too fast. Chu Yin didn't even think before throwing the 2 women back to Yang Wu. I'll return them to you. This matter is settled. Yang Wu changed his attack. He supported the 2 girls and gently put them down. At this moment, Chun Huang blocked in front of Chu Yin and shouted, Chu Yin, you better stay behind. At the same time, more than 10 worshippers arrived from different directions. Chu Yin stopped and shouted, I'm here to auction a divine item. Is this how your Yang clan treats its guests? Do you not want to work anymore? Catch him, break his 3rd leg, and throw him out of the Yang family city. Yang Wu ordered. At the same time, he checked the condition of the two girls. He took out a few herbs and rubbed them together. Then he put the medicinal liquid in front of their noses. The medicinal fragrance entered their nostrils and quickly expelled the medicinal fragrance of the soul, enchanting incense. "Who dares to touch my young clan head?" An old voice rang out. A figure quickly rushed to Chu Yan's side. He released a tyrannical saint aura, forcing the Yang clan worshippers to retreat. This was a high-level saint at the 6-star mark realm. Looking at his old appearance, many people recognized him as the old saint of the Chu clan, Dong Bohan. This old saint was proficient in soul techniques. His soul power was much stronger than his fleshy body. The moment he appeared, the Yang clan saints were suppressed and did not dare to move. The strongest among them was only at the 5th-star mark realm. How could they compare to a 6-star mark realm saint? "Ha! I've already said that you can't do anything to me." Ian laughed wildly. He then looked at Yang Wu and said, "Young clan head Yang, these two girls are your women. I'll give you face and not touch them. However, your hospitality just now was not good. Why don't you take out a few saint pills to compensate me? Otherwise, your Yang clan's auction can forget about continuing. Your tone is really big. Do you really think that you can behave atrociously in my Yang family city just because you are an old dog?" Yang Wu sneered and flew towards Chu Yan. He would not let Chu Yan off so easily. Yang Wu's explosive speed was very fast. Even a mid-ranked saint could not compare to him. This was the speed of the second stage of the Wind God's Leg. Dong Bohan, who was beside Chu Yan, quickly rushed out. His old face formed a cold smile. "Young people, impulsiveness is the devil. Netherworld sky-splitting palm." Dong Bohan did not show any mercy. He wanted to teach Yang Wu a lesson. When he sent out a palm, it was like a powerful force that could tear apart the Netherworld realm. Its power was relatively tyrannical. Any other Yang clan worshipper would not be able to block it. Tyrannical divine palm. Yang Wu did not dare underestimate the other party. He sent out a palm imprint that contained dense fire energy. The surrounding fire Xianxi was gathered and condensed into a shocking palm force that clashed against the other party's palm force. A shocking amount of holy qi spread out in all directions. The Yang clan's worshippers still had some use. They quickly retreated and used their energy to protect the surroundings, preventing the dissipating energy from harming the citizens. Pung! When the two palms collided, Yang Wu was forced back. Dong Bohan was also forced back. The strength of the two was actually comparable. "How is this possible?" Dong Bohan cried out. He was a 6th-ranked star rune realm expert, just one step away from becoming a high-ranked saint. How could he not be able to suppress a junior at the dragon transformation realm? Worshipper Bohan, he is an unparalleled emperor at the small saint realm. Don't underestimate him. Chu Yan showed a trace of worry. Even their previous invincible emperor wasn't this freakish. He faintly felt a trace of worry. If even Dong Bohan could not block Yang Wu, it would be terrible. Again, Yang Wu was incomparably satisfied with his current strength. After soaking in the 2nd-grade immortal liquid, his fleshy body was comparable to that of a mid-ranked saint. Furthermore, his realm had reached the great circle of the dragon transformation realm. His foundation was far beyond that of ordinary saints. With the enhancement of his war blood innate talent, he could finally fight head-on with a mid-ranked saint. Yang Wu continuously sent out palms, each of them containing world-shaking power. Dong Bohan did not dare to be careless. He repeatedly blocked and tried to see if he could take advantage of the opportunity to kill Yang Wu. Who would have thought that he could not force Yang Wu back, even with his full strength? He was anxious. "I can't kill him. I can only retreat." Dong Bohan had the thought of retreating. This was the territory of the Yang clan. The experts of the Yang clan would definitely be alerted. If that great-grandmother of his acted, he would undoubtedly die. The experts from the various superpowers were watching this battle. They were all speechless. The unparalleled emperor is so powerful. No wonder he could obtain more than 10,000 victories. With such a realm, who in the younger generation could be his opponent? A heaven-sent genius. A heaven-sent genius. I clearly feel that he is still in the dragon transformation realm and cannot borrow the power of the stars. How can he explode with such power? Can you feel it? He can control the Xian Qi of heaven and earth within a radius of 50 kilometers. Even a mid-rank saint would not be able to do so. Right, his fleshy body has become a saint, as expected of Saint Master Yangwu. In the future, he will definitely be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with Alliance leader Xiangding Tian. I'm afraid Chu Yan will die here. Young clan leader Yangwu, this matter ends here. We will leave the Yang clan city now. Dong Bohan could not suppress Yangwu and had to admit defeat. Leaving the Yang clan city is fine. He dared to take liberties with my woman. I must cripple his third leg. Otherwise, this matter will not end. Yang Wu replied domineeringly. Do you really want to be so ruthless? You can think of it that way. How arrogant. Do you really think I, Dong Bohan, can't do anything to you? If you have any trump cards, feel free to use them. Yang Wu and Dong Bohan had already fought in the sky. They did not have to worry about hurting the people in the city. You force me. Dong Bohan hardened his heart. He snorted coldly, and his saint's soul flew out. A soul arrow shot towards Yang Wu. Soul arrow. Dong Bohan's proficiency in soul energy was not empty words. The soul arrow condensed by a saint's soul could not be sensed by just anyone. A single arrow could kill the saint's soul of an ordinary saint. Soul technique. Yang Wu was flabbergasted. The greatest characteristic of soul techniques was that their attacks were formless. Unless one soul energy was as strong as the others, only then could they sense the fluctuations of soul energy. Otherwise, they would be easily attacked by soul energy. Yang Wu cultivated the Soul Control Heart Sutra and had long condensed a battle soul. Naturally, he could sense the soul arrow clearly. His battle soul automatically defended and shattered the soul arrow. How is this possible? Dong Bohan sensed that his soul arrow had been shattered and cried out in alarm. Is this all you have? It seems that I've overestimated you. Yang Wu revealed a look of disdain. Good. Have a taste of this move of mine. Dong Bohan was thoroughly enraged. He roared, and his soul energy surged. 7 soul arrows were shot out at the same time. 7 soul sacred arrow. This was Dong Bohan's strongest soul attack. It could even kill high-ranked saints. This move had used up more than half of his soul energy. If it could not deal with Yang Wu, it would be powerless. Your soul energy is really strong. Yang Wu sighed after feeling the power of the 7 arrows. He then said, but it's still not enough. Die. Soul-breaking whip. A soul weapon appeared. His battle soul swept the soul-breaking whip out, and the 7 sacred arrows were shattered. They could not harm Yang Wu at all. This is a soul weapon. Dong Bohan was frightened. He had always wanted to find a soul weapon, but it was a pity that he could not find one. Who would have thought that he would see one here? An unprecedented sense of danger entered his soul. He hurriedly said, I admit. Before he could finish his words, his battle soul once again struck out with the soul-breaking whip. Pung! Yang Wu's battle soul energy was originally abnormal. After being strengthened by the soul-breaking whip, it could even kill high-ranked saints, let alone Dong Bohan. Dong Bohan could not dodge at all. Yang Wu's whip was too fast and ferocious, and it directly shattered his saint's soul. Dong Bohan died with his eyes wide open. His saint body fell from midair. It was so miserable. A ruthless person of a generation died, protecting his master. Chapter 1156. Dong Bohan was dead. The surrounding spectators were all shocked. That was the strength of a level 6 star Rune Realm expert. After reaching the Saint Realm, the gap in strength between each level was huge. That was because the strength of the stars was on a completely different level. Dong Bohan might be an ordinary level 6 star Rune Realm saint, but he was definitely not the kind of saint who could be killed so easily. He even had a talent in soul energy, yet he was killed by Yang Wu with a single whip. This shock was simply too great. Is this the unparalleled strength that could suppress all small saints? This is too exaggerated. That's right. Even if his fleshy body became a saint, it should be impossible for him to kill Dong Bohan. Could it be that Dong Bo Hun underestimated him? You should go and fight with him. This is the strength of Saint Master Yongwu. He is too strong. Unless a high-ranked saint acts, no one can easily kill him. It seems that his price on the bounty list is going to rise again. If this continues, who could be his opponent when he steps into the Star Rune realm? It seems that the Yang clan has prepared this auction for him. Once he has enough resources, it should be enough for him to walk further in the Saint realm and prepare for breaking through to the Jade Moon realm. Impossible. How could consecrated Dong Bo Hun die just like that? Chu Yin panicked. Yang Wu looked down at Chu Yin and said faintly, "This is the result of offending my Yang clan." His voice spread throughout the Yang clan city, warning all the superpowers who came to participate in the auction. It also showed the world his current combat power. He was no longer a small warrior that others could casually bully. Regardless of whether Chu Yin accepted this fact or not, he could not stay here any longer. He quickly soared into the sky, trying to escape from the Yang clan city with his fastest speed. Take him down and break his third leg. Yang Wu did not personally chase after him. Instead, he ordered the Yang clan consecrators. The Yang clan had to spend money to raise these consecrators. Since they had spent money, they had to show some appreciation. The Yang clan did not raise idle people. More than 10 Yang clan consecrators soared into the sky at the same time. The two middle-ranked saints who were the fastest quickly sealed the area, not giving Chu Yin any chance to escape. Chen Huang, who was hesitating, did not dare to speak any nonsense. He unleashed his ultimate technique toward Chu Yin. Now it was time for him to show what he could do. This young clan head was too strong, and he was also a saint alchemist. If they followed such a young genius, their futures would be limitless. Chu Yin's strength was at the level 1 celestial rune realm. However, he was able to unleash combat power that was comparable to a level 3 celestial rune realm expert. Hence, he did not disgrace his reputation as a heaven's pride of the heavenly dragon list. Rumble, rumble. There were so many saints in the Yang family. After a wave of attacks, Chu Yin spat out blood. His sacred body was severely injured and would be captured soon. You will pay the price for this. Chu Yan's expression was incomparably ferocious as he shouted and shattered a jade tube. This was not an ordinary jade tube left behind by a saint, but a life-saving measure given to him by his ancestor. Whoosh! A majestic, illusory figure appeared, like a falling star, instantly pressing down on many of the Yang family's consecrators, causing them to fall from mid-air. Old ancestor, they want to kill me. He has already killed consecrator Dong Bo Hun. Chu Yin hurriedly bowed as he saw the powerful figure appear. Jade Moon Realm. Many experts in the city cried out involuntarily after sensing the terrifying power of this figure. The star pattern realm could draw upon the power of the stars to temper the sacred body and sacred soul, increasing one's combat power. Reaching the Jade Moon Realm was a whole new world. One could draw upon the moonlight to cleanse one's body and soul, further improving one's life essence and allowing one to have a longer lifespan. The Jade Moon Realm was also commonly known as the Heaven Ascension Realm, and the other races called it the Deity Realm. In the eyes of many creatures, it was a peerless and unparalleled expert. Even 100 top-notch saints could not defeat a Heaven Ascension Realm expert. The person in front of them was the ancestor of the Chu family. After 10,000 years, he broke through to the Jade Moon Realm before his lifespan ran out. It could be said that he had walked on the edge of death. He was not very tall, and his appearance was not too special. However, his appearance was like the arrival of the sun and moon, and his aura was incomparably shocking. This was only the strength of an avatar of the ancestor of the Chu family. The ancestor of the Chu family looked disdainfully at the Yang family's consecrators and Yang Wu as he shouted, "The people of the Yang family are truly amazing, daring to kill people of my Chu family. Kneel down for this, senior." This voice was so powerful that the Yang family's consecrators couldn't help but kneel down. Yang Wu also felt the great pressure, making him feel suffocated and uncomfortable. "Haha, this time I want to see how you'll die." Chu Yin laughed happily. "The ones who will die will be you. Duanren City Lord, what are you waiting for?" Yang Wu shouted. In the next moment, another figure with a stronger aura than the Chu family's ancestor quietly appeared. It was the Duan City Lord. The cultivators in the city were shocked once again. They knew that the Yang family had a great-grandmother who had been in charge of the Yang family for a long time. She was also the only Jade Moon Realm expert in the Yang family. Now, another Heaven Ascension Realm expert had appeared. So lively. The Duanren City Lord sighed. You are Duanren from Duanren City. The Chu family ancestor looked at the Duanren City Lord with a frown. Yes, that's me. The Duanren City Lord said indifferently. When did you become a consecrator of the Yang family? The Chu family ancestor asked. This matter has nothing to do with you. The Duanren City Lord replied. He then looked at Yang Wu and asked, Saint Master Yang Wu, how do you want to deal with him? Kill the old one. Leave the young one alive. Yang Wu licked his lips and said, Good. The Duanren City Lord replied. His eyes locked onto the Chu family ancestor and Chu Yin. Chu Yin was scared to the point of pissing his pants. Ancestor, let's go quickly. Chu Yin was very clear about the difference in strength between a Heaven Ascension Realm clone and the real body. If their ancestor's real body was here, he wouldn't be so scared. But this was only a clone of their ancestor. How could it be compared to the Duanren City Lord's real body? Needless to say, the Chu family ancestor had already taken Chu Yin away. You think you can leave? The Duanren City Lord sneered. His arm dropped, and a 10,000 zhong long blade light slashed towards the Chu family ancestor. Duanren, what did the Yang family give you? I'll give you double. The Chu family ancestor used all his strength to block Duanren City Lord's attack. You can't afford it. Disappear. Duanren, you bully bang. The Chu family ancestor's clone couldn't block the Duanren City Lord's attack. Chu Yin was terrified. The Duanren City Lord pinched him like a chicken and threw him into the Yang family city. The Yang family's consecrators immediately caught him and broke his third leg on the spot. Moreover, it was Chun Huang who broke it. Young Patriarch, we've done what you asked us to do. It won't be easy for him to recover his third leg within 100 years unless there's a miracle medicine. Chun Huang ran towards Yang Wu and asked for the credit. Ji Xiao didn't go forward. He just stood behind the other consecrators. He was only a first-grade star Rune Realm cultivator. Some of the credit wasn't something he could snatch. He just hoped that he could stay in the Yang family quietly. Yang Wu looked at Chun Huang and said coldly, Get out of the Yang family city immediately. Chun Huang said in fear, Young Patriarch, why do I work so hard for the Yang family? You still have the face to say that? You're a consecrator of the Yang family, but you're scared by an outsider. You don't even have the basic heart to protect the Yang family. What's the use of keeping you? Get out of the Yang family city immediately. Otherwise, I'll cripple you. Yang Wu shouted angrily. When Chu Yin was dealing with Wan Lan Xin and the little man, this guy didn't even dare to stop him. If it wasn't for Ji Xiao, they would have been taken away. What was the use of keeping such a person in the Yang family? Chun Huang's face was ashen. He didn't dare to refute. His heart was filled with regret. If he had taken action at the beginning, he wouldn't have been driven away. Come here. Yang Wu looked at Ji Xiao and said. Ji Xiao walked out from behind the consecrators and bowed. Ji Xiao greets the young patriarch. Please forgive my incompetence for not being able to maintain the order of the Yang family city. I'm willing to resign from the position of consecrator. When he saw Chun Huang's fate, he felt that the young patriarch was definitely dissatisfied with him. He might as well take the initiative to resign. It was better than being abandoned. Yang Wu laughed loudly. Such a good consecrator can't be dismissed. I should reward you well. Without you, Xian and the little man would have been taken away by that guy. Here's a star pattern pill for you. A 3 tribulation star pattern pill appeared in Yang Wu's hand, and he handed it to Ji Xiao. Ji Xiao was stunned. Why? Do you still want to resign? Yang Wu asked again when he saw that Ji Xiao didn't move. No. Thank you, young patriarch. Ji Xiao will definitely work hard to protect the Yang family city. Ji Xiao knelt down on one knee and said excitedly, Didn't he join the Yang family to obtain pills that could raise his cultivation realm? He had only joined for less than 2 months, and he had already obtained a 3 tribulation star pattern pill. It felt like a dream. It was too unreal. This 3 tribulation star pattern pill was worth millions of mid-grade saint stones. It wasn't something that any saint could take out. The consecrators present looked at He Ji Xiao enviously and thought to themselves, "Why doesn't such a good thing fall on me?" Chun Huang's face was filled with bitterness as he quickly left the Yang family city. The surrounding cultivators' eyes were filled with scorching light. The benefits of the Yang family's consecrators were too good. Even if they were consecrated by a giant force, they might not be able to obtain a saint pill that could raise their strength if they didn't make enough contributions. All right, everyone disperse. Our Yang family will definitely do our best to protect everyone's safety. We will not allow anyone to cause trouble in the Yang family city. Otherwise, no matter who it is, they will be regarded as provoking the Yang family and will be killed without mercy. Yang Wu said firmly, "Haha, I'm relieved to hear young patriarch's words. I wonder if young patriarch is willing to sell your star pattern pill?" Someone laughed and asked, "Saint Master Yang Wu, I wonder if there will be any saint pills refined by you in this auction. We came because of your name." Someone said, "There are heaven-reaching realm powerhouses overseeing the auction this time. We have nothing to worry about. Hurry up and prepare the saint stones. It seems like there will really be divine items auctioned this time. Hurry up and report back. We have to make preparations." Chapter 1157. With the appearance of Yang Wu and the Duanren city leader, the Yang clan's auction hadn't started yet, but the atmosphere had reached a climax. The ancestor of the Chu clan had been killed, and Chu Yan's third leg had been broken. Yang Wu had even said that the Chu clan had to hand over 1,000,000 top-grade celestial stones in exchange for Chu Yan's body. Over the years, the Chu clan had been secretly plotting against the Yang clan. Many people knew about it, but Yang Wu didn't want to make too many enemies because he wanted to deal with the Xing clan. Now that the Yang clan leader had appeared, he didn't need to endure anymore. Even the Duanren city lord had shown himself. This young master's rallying power was too strong. Besides, he had given away the 3 Culpa star mark pellet in front of everybody. Everybody was jealous. Many people believed that the Yang clan would be able to win the auction this time. They didn't dare be careless. They all thought of ways to get more celestial stones for the auction. In the Chu clan of the Great Mountain region, in the restricted area of the Chu clan, someone shouted furiously, "Duanren city leader is going too far." The next moment, a domineering person appeared in the meeting hall of the Chu clan. He said, "All the holy elders of the Chu clan, come here and discuss the matter." The holy elders of the Chu clan were shocked. They all ran to the meeting hall as fast as they could. "Ancestor, who made you so angry? Old ancestor, what happened? Don't scare us." I don't know when the Yang clan recruited the Duanren city leader to protect them. This time, Chu Yan was captured. They want 1,000,000 top-grade celestial stones. Get ready. I'm going to the Yang clan. What? How dare the Yang clan do that? Does the Yang clan not want to exist anymore? They're openly provoking the Chu clan. What's wrong with the Duanren city leader? He doesn't stay in Duanren city. How dare he come out and cause trouble? Cut the crap. The Yang clan must have gotten a treasure this time. I want to see what good things they have. In the Yang clan, Yang Wu was strolling around with Wan Lanxin and the little man. The two women were a little frightened, but they quickly adjusted. "It's all because I was too careless. Otherwise, he wouldn't be my opponent. I'm sorry, young master," Sister Lan Exine. The little man blamed herself and said to the two, "Indeed, with little man's strength, she could deal with Chu Yan directly. Unfortunately, the soul enchanting powder was too powerful, and her experience in dealing with enemies was still lacking, which was why she fell into his trap. Little man, don't blame yourself anymore. We're all fine." Wan Lanxin comforted little man. Yang Wu said from the side, "Little man, you are too kind and pure. This is a good thing, but also a bad thing. In the future, you must be more careful when dealing with strangers. If you were in other places, the consequences would be unimaginable." "Yes, young master, I will remember this. If I meet this kind of bastard again in the future, I will send him flying with a punch." The little man was in a bad mood. "All right, there's nothing else. When the auction starts, I'll bring you all to take a look. I heard that there's a divine object being auctioned this time. Is it true? It must be true. Young master won't lie. In the future, I will also become a god and protect young master like Uncle Scar. What about me? You can't be biased. Also protect Sister Lon Xin. The auction was held as scheduled. The Yang family auction house was a large auction house that had recently been rebuilt to welcome guests from all over the world. For a long time, the Yang family's income was mostly maintained by the mineral veins in the world of battles. The other side businesses did not bring them much income. Under the situation of shrinking mineral veins, the Yang family's income was not balanced, which led to the family's rapid decline. Only with a large amount of income could they buy more cultivation resources from other places, which would attract strong masters to support the growth of more younger generations. Now, the Yang family had a divine object and a holy object to auction, so naturally, the auction house had to be made more grand, which also represented the Yang family's face. Yang Wu brought Wan Lanxin and the little man to a box. From the box's window, they could overlook the auction house. Every box was isolated by a formation, so the outside world could not sense their presence. Every box had a corresponding price, which was usually only sold to wealthy people. Many powerful people appeared in the auction house, including many from the Spirit Yao clan and other races. This time, the Yang family announced that they would be auctioning the Dragon Phoenix Divine Pill, which was refined from the Dragon Phoenix Divine Fruit. No matter who it was, they would be tempted by such a divine pill. Many strong masters guessed that Yang Wu must have asked the leader of the Apothecary Union to refine such a divine pill. Otherwise, where did he get such a divine pill from? This time, the Sun family, the Leaf family, and the Qin family from the battle clans had come. Outside the battle clans, there were representatives from the Wudong clan, Amei clan, Mount Hung, Ancient Sky Dynasty, and other major forces and first-rate forces. Aside from this, there were also many powerful wandering cultivators who had come to join in the fun. When the auction began, a graceful and charming voice sounded, "Welcome everyone to the Yang family auction. I am the auctioneer for this auction, Yang Man Fan. The lowest grade item in this auction is a minor saint artifact, while the highest grade is a divine artifact. Every time the base price is announced, everyone can bid to their heart's content." When Yang Wu saw the auctioneer appear, he was surprised. Why is she an auctioneer? Yang Manmi had the meridian replenishment physique, and she was the ideal daughter-in-law candidate in the hearts of all the ancient clans. Her children would be able to continue the most powerful bloodline. During the trip to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, she had also entered with Yang Wu. Later on, she had also followed Yang Wu everywhere. Although she did not obtain many victories, she could not enter the top 100 of the Heavenly Phoenix roll. However, she was ranked within the top 500, which was an extremely good ranking for the Yang family. Yang Mami had once expressed her love for Yang Wu, but she was ignored by Yang Wu. He only treated her as a close clansman. Yang Mami had the title of Heartthrob. Her charm was even better than Wan Lanxin's, and was not inferior to Meng Bingshue's. There were many men who pursued her, but her standards were also very high. Moreover, she had long been restricted to choosing a partner within the clan. Only Yang Wu met her requirements. After she expressed her love for Yang Wu, she did not deliberately seduce Yang Wu. She was not a lowly woman. Sister Mammy is so beautiful. Wan Lanxin could not help but praise. She then looked at Yang Wu and said jokingly, "I heard that she likes you a lot. Why don't you take her?" Little man also said, Yes. Sister Mammy told me that she likes young master very much. She is willing to give birth to a child for young master." Little man and young Mammy met in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. They were both women, so they were naturally closer. Yang Wu smiled bitterly and said, "Don't talk nonsense. There is nothing between me and Mammy. I am just surprised that she is the auctioneer this time." Young Mammy's popularity was indeed very high. After she appeared, wave after wave of screams were heard. She was beautiful, and her figure was of the highest quality. She wore sexy clothes and swayed her graceful body. She shouted the price of the auction items with all her might. It was really pleasing to the eye. The next item is the 3 Revolution Little Profound Pill. It can immediately recover the injuries of a small saint and replenish the lost energy. The starting price is 50,000 high-grade profound stones. Each increment must not be less than 5,000. The next item is a damaged saint weapon from the demon race. It also contains the Devil Fall Saint Stone. The starting price is 100,000 high-grade profound stones. Each increment must not be less than 5,000. The next item is 10 Second Tribulation Saint Healing Pills. The starting price is 1 million low-grade saint stones. Each increment must not be less than 10,000. One by one, the auction items were quickly sold off. These were just ordinary auction items. When it came to saint-level items, the atmosphere became heated. Many cultivators joined in the bidding, including some spirit demons and other races. Yang Wu looked at Yang Manmi and felt a trace of discomfort in his heart. She shouldn't show her face in public like this. When he saw a beautiful woman who was interested in him, he was unwilling to part with her. Perhaps this was a common problem for all men. Soon, when it was time for the star pattern pill, the atmosphere of the auction became extremely explosive. This was a saint pill that could help a saint directly increase his cultivation level. Not every place had it. However, when there was an auction, many saints would fight for it. Moreover, the star pattern pill in front of them was a 3 Tribulation Saint pill. Its value was higher and it was easier to break through. It also had the least damage to one's foundation. Other than the star pattern pill, another spirit demon saint pill appeared. It was a saint pill that could help spirit demons increase their cultivation level. The spirit demons who came were extremely excited. They were very generous with their bids. They were much more straightforward than the humans. So far, none of the items were sold. Moreover, the prices of the items were much higher than expected. The auction was considered a success. When some of the top saint-level items appeared, the other races also went crazy. I bid 2 million high-grade saint stones for this burial bell. I bid 2,500,000 high-grade saint stones. 3 million high-grade saint stones. The burial bell from the corpse race was obtained by Yang Wu. Yang Wu thought that no one would want it. However, the result was unexpected. In addition, there were a few top saint-level items from the demon race and other races that were sold for extremely high prices. These were the treasures Yang Wu had obtained from killing those devil and non-humankind geniuses. In another box, a black-robed elder cursed, D***M in it. Why does the Yang family have so many high-grade saint-level items? It seems like the final item will be a demigod item or a real saint-level item. This black-robed elder definitely wasn't here for the auction. He was definitely an enemy of the Yang family. Even so, when he saw the demigod item he wanted, he didn't care about anything else and joined the bidding. Sometimes, it was a torment to get something you wanted from your enemy. My son is very good. It's a blessing to be able to befriend a young, invincible king like Saint Master Yang Wu. Perhaps the Yang family will rise again because of him. A loud laugh sounded from another box. That's right. From the first time I met him, I felt that his future was limitless, a young man replied. When the auction is over, bring your sister to see Yang Wu. I'll also go to the Yang family and see if we can tie the knot. Father, that's not very good. I'm a girl. Chapter 1158. Young Mrs. Taste is really extraordinary. In another private room, a young man laughed and said. Beside him, an old man smiled and said, That's right. Fortunately, this old man didn't raise any objections in the sect. Otherwise, it would have been a joke. After pausing for a moment, he said, The battle of the 5 sacred mountains is about to begin. I hope this prospective son-in-law can help young Miss a bit. This time, young Miss has gained a lot from the battle of the Dragon and Phoenix. Moreover, that person from Mount Song has died. Young Miss still has a lot of opportunities. The young man said, But we can't just rely on young Miss alone. You're also the key. If you don't work hard, young Miss will surpass you. Don't worry. At least I won't drag young Miss down. After this auction ends, I'll go look for the son-in-law. He'll definitely have some good things. Relying on others isn't a solution. The key is that you have to work hard. In the auction hall, 3,000 people were continuously calling out bids. One item after another was bought. The atmosphere was getting more and more heated. Young Mammy felt the enthusiastic atmosphere and shouted even harder. She watched as one item after another was sold at a high price. She was incomparably happy and felt a sense of accomplishment. She liked this feeling. It's good to be able to do something for the family. The family will definitely get better and better. Her strength was inseparable from the family's nurturing. She was willing to give up everything for the family. Even if she wasn't allowed to marry outside, she wasn't dissatisfied at all. She felt that this was what she should do for the family. It was a pity that she was a woman. Her talent and strength weren't bad, but it was far from enough to support a family. Now, she had finally found her own direction. Perhaps she wouldn't need to rely on her own strength to contribute to the family. The young family head was a top-tier alchemist. In the future, he would definitely have pills to sell. If she helped the young family head auction these pills and sold them for a good price, it would also be a contribution to the family. In addition, she would also be able to manage the family business and create a business. She would be able to earn more wealth for the family. Normally, an outstanding disciple like her would not participate in business matters. If it was too time-consuming, she would not be able to focus on cultivation. She had entered the top 1,000 of the Heavenly Phoenix rankings, and her talent was already very outstanding. She was at the top of the transcendent realm, and as long as she focused on cultivation, her future would be limitless. But now, Yangwu alone had overshadowed the radiance of the younger generation, successfully rising to prominence. She felt that it would be very, very difficult for her to surpass Yangwu. Furthermore, she also longed to become Yangwu's woman and give birth to the strongest child for him. She needed to open up another mystic realm and display her more valuable side. In her opinion, she was more suited to be a businessman. She liked the feeling of making money like crazy. Of course, she wouldn't give up on cultivating. If she did what she wanted to do and cultivated at the same time, she might be able to achieve double the results. Cultivation was also cultivation of the mind. Perhaps she could walk her own martial path. She just didn't know if her family would allow her to continue. This time, they were auctioning sacred objects and divine objects, so the standard was relatively high. Furthermore, her image was very good, which was why she was allowed to be the auctioneer of this auction. She wasn't allowed to be the auctioneer forever. Next up is the final divine object of this auction. Is everyone ready? Young Mammy shouted with a charming smile. She was very charming and seductive, but she couldn't be more attractive than a divine object. Don't talk nonsense. Quickly announce what divine object is being auctioned. That's right. We can't wait any longer. Let's start. Don't disappoint us. We came all the way here. We don't want to return empty-handed. The guests of the auction were all restless. I announced that the first divine item is the Scarlet Blood Divine Sword. This divine sword's origin is astonishing. It is the divine sword that made the Scarlet Blood Emperor famous 100,000 years ago. After the Scarlet Blood Emperor disappeared, his divine weapon also disappeared. Today, it has finally appeared in the world. It is not only a divine weapon, it might even have the Scarlet Blood Emperor's inheritance. Its value is extraordinary. The starting price is 10,000 low-grade divine stones, and each bid must not be lower than 1,000. What? It's the Scarlet Blood Emperor's divine weapon? So he really fell. What a pity. He was once the most powerful rogue cultivator. He rose up because he obtained the Scarlet Blood Divine Sword. I must get this divine sword. 10,000 low-grade divine stones is not expensive. The Scarlet Blood Divine Sword seems to be damaged. It is not a complete divine weapon. Nonsense. If it was a complete divine weapon, how could it be so cheap? It can only be considered a damaged divine weapon. I bid 11,000 low-grade divine stones, 12,000 low-grade divine stones, 13,000 low-grade divine stones. When the divine sword appeared, there was finally some movement in the private rooms. The people in the private rooms were either from the top forces or from the rich and powerful clans. They had brought a lot of wealth to the auction. However, some of them were depressed. They didn't know that the Yang family would take out such an amazing divine object for auction. They thought that it was just some ordinary divine object. Even if it was damaged, it would still be more valuable than a demigod tool. Everyone was sure that the Yang family had made a fortune this time. The price kept rising. Soon, it exceeded 20,000 low-grade divine stones. The damaged Scarlet Blood divine sword was about 20,000 low-grade divine stones. However, the inheritance it contained might be more valuable than the divine sword. It was unknown whether the inheritance was still in the divine sword. In the highest private room of the auction house, Gong Xilan smiled. She hadn't smiled so happily for many years. Except for the last time when she saved Yang Taihe, this was the day she smiled the most. Congratulations, Master Gong Xilan. The Yang family will definitely rise. Duanren City Master said to Gong Xilan sincerely. Duanren was the lord of the city, but it was only a corner of the battle world. The living environment there was very bad. If he had not reached the Tongtian realm, the war clan would have already destroyed him. He did not think that he had the ability to fight against the war clan. Moreover, the war clan allowed him to exist only to provide a place for people outside the war clan to live, so that people would not say that the war clan was overbearing. These years, Duanren City Master didn't live a carefree life. On the contrary, he was walking on thin ice. He didn't dare to offend the war clan. Duanren City Master knew the situation of the Yang family very well. If Yang Wu hadn't appeared, he wouldn't have had anything to do with the Yang family. He hadn't thought that Yang Wu would become the invincible emperor. Besides, he had gained so much. Not only had he brought back the other part of his blade, but he had also brought back a lot of treasures. Duanren City Master was jealous. The reason why he was where he was today was because he had accidentally obtained a part of the broken blade. He had received the inheritance from it, and that was why he had risen so quickly. He was very eager to get the other part of the blade. Coincidentally, Yang Wu had appeared in Duanren City and defeated Bao Bufu, who was a second-level star rune cultivator. At that time, Duanren City Master thought that Yang Wu had great potential and that he could become the Dragon King. Who would have thought that Yang Wu would give him such a big surprise? Now, Duanren City Master was also interested in the divine sword Qi Shui. Fortunately, he had the complete divine sword Qi Shui. Thank you, Duanren City Master. We can be closer in the future. Gong Xilan smiled. Haha, of course. Our Duanren City also lacks holy pills. In the future, we will have to trouble the young patriarch. Master Gong Xilan, please help us. Of course, but I think we can go one step further. Wu will become a godly alchemist soon. Don't you want to leave a way out for yourself? I am used to being free and undisciplined. I don't have many ideas for now. When the young patriarch becomes a godly alchemist, I will have a good chat with him. In the end, the divine sword Qi Shui was sold for a shocking price of 38,000 low-grade holy stones. That price was equivalent to 38 million high-grade holy stones. It was comparable to the price of a large holy vein. A second-rate force would need 1,000 years to earn that much. An ordinary first-rate force would need 100 years to earn that much. The value of a divine item was astonishing. It was no joke. Each divine item was a treasure of sect. They were extremely powerful and could protect a sect for 10,000 years. It was worth it to pay such a price. The second item is a golden worm divine armor. It can defend against attacks from divine weapons. It is a life-saving divine weapon. The starting price is 10,000 low-grade holy stones, 11,000 low-grade holy stones, 12,000 low-grade holy stones, 13,000 low-grade holy stones. The price of a defensive divine weapon was slightly lower. Furthermore, it was damaged. In the end, it was sold for 32,000 low-grade holy stones. Then, a spirit demon's corpse was auctioned. A spirit demon bid a high price, exceeding 50,000 low-grade holy stones. In the end, the auction reached its climax when the last divine item was introduced. A second tribulation divine pill of Dragon Phoenix. The starting price is 100,000 mid-grade holy stones. Each bid must be at least 10,000 higher, young Mammy announced loudly. The divine pill of Dragon Phoenix could increase one's strength and awaken one's talent. Furthermore, it was a second tribulation divine pill. 100,000 mid-grade holy stones was extremely cheap. This divine pill was priced at 500,000 mid-grade holy stones in the Alchemist Alliance. Such a price could only be afforded by those tycoons and old almighty figures. In a private room, a middle-aged man in a dragon robe shouted, 200,000 mid-grade holy stones. In another private room, a black-robed old man said in a hoarse voice, 300,000 mid-grade holy stones. 350,000 mid-grade holy stones. 360,000 mid-grade holy stones. The atmosphere in the auction house was completely heated. Everyone in the auction house was dumbfounded as they listened to the bids. They didn't even dare to breathe loudly, afraid that they would disturb the bids. In their eyes, 1,000,000 holy stones was a huge fortune. They might not be able to take out such a sum in their lifetime. Now that these people were bidding at such a high price, they realized that the rich were really rich. They were just frogs in a well. Everyone in the Yang family was excited. The Yang family had been sullen for too long. They could finally hold their heads high. Mid-grade holy stones were far more valuable than holy stones. They were extremely rare. Those who hadn't reached the alchemy realm didn't deserve to have them. Now a divine pill could be exchanged for so many holy stones. Only a powerful force could do that. Now the Yang family had done it. They saw the hope of rising again. Just as the bidding continued to rise, a force suddenly swept towards the divine pill of Dragon Phoenix. Snatch it by force? Chapter 1159. Every divine object was astonishingly valuable, and many experts had long been deeply attracted to them. They also desired to obtain them, but not everyone had astonishing wealth, not to mention a divine pellet like the Dragon Phoenix Dan, which was even more priceless. Looking at the rising price, some experts were already in despair. They couldn't get their hands on such a divine pellet. However, some people didn't want to miss the opportunity. Suddenly, a strong cultivator tried to snatch the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet. He was a strong cultivator who was half a step away from the Jade Moon layer. If he got the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet, he would definitely break through to the Jade Moon layer. He had been stuck at that level for 3,000 years. If he didn't break through to the Jade Moon layer, he would die. When he had heard that the Yang clan was going to sell the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet, he had rushed over with all his belongings. Who would have thought that the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet was a Culpa divine pellet, not a Culpa divine pellet, nor a Culpa divine pellet? The price had exceeded 500,000 medium-level godly stones. Therefore, he didn't care about anything else. As long as he got the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet, he would immediately run away. He believed that the Yang clan wouldn't be able to catch him. He moved very quickly. The guards around the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet didn't react at all. His hand was already reaching for the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet. How audacious! How dare you! Many experts in the private room started to shout loudly. They all wanted the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet and participated in the bidding. Who would have thought that someone would not play by the rules and directly snatch it? This was too much. However, they just shouted and didn't try to stop him. It wasn't their territory. They didn't need to worry about it. Some people were gloating in the dark. They were waiting for the Yang clan to make a fool of themselves. Yang clan, let's see how you're going to protect the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet. If you can't protect the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet, the Yang clan will be destroyed. The reason why no one tried to snatch the previous divine objects was because they were not complete divine objects. Even if the price was not low, it was still within an acceptable range. Now that the price of the Dragon Phoenix divine pill is shocking, it is worth it for people to take the risk. Duan Ren City's great leader tried to snatch the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet. I don't know if he'll try again. If he tries, Duan Ren City won't exist anymore. Just as the half-step into the Heavenly Ascension realm was about to obtain the Dragon Phoenix Dan, another force descended with an even faster force, directly imprisoning the half-step into the Heavenly Ascension realm's power, and a voice rang out. Whoever dares to behave atrociously in the auction dies. That was the voice of the Duan Ren City's leader. He was the protector of the city. He owed the Yang clan a favor. The half-step to Tongtian cultivator looked desperate. When the Duan Ren City leader's attack was about to crush him, another force appeared and grabbed the Dragon Phoenix divine pellet. Bastard! The Dwanran city lord was enraged. Gong Xilan also sensed the abnormality. She tenderly shouted, "Stay!" Gong Xilan was already a level 2 Jade Moon cultivator. She was stronger than Dwanran city's leader. However, her reaction was still half a beat slower. She didn't manage to keep the Dragon Phoenix Divine Pellet, nor did she manage to catch the strong cultivator. The strong cultivator had already brought the Divine Pellet to the entrance of the auction house. He laughed and said, "Haha, the Yang clan is just SOSO." When a mysterious strong cultivator in the black cloak was about to slip away, a voice sounded, "You can't escape. Little Hay, kill him." That person didn't care. He was a Tongtian cultivator. If he wanted to leave, who could stop him? Just as he was about to break through space and disappear, an inconspicuous power suddenly descended. It was a strand of 3-colored flame. The power it released wasn't very frightening, but it came too quickly. In the blink of an eye, it landed on the Black Robe powerhouse. Even the Black Robe powerhouse's defensive power didn't have the slightest bit of effect. Boom! Ah! The 3-colored flame came quickly and exploded quickly. The old man in the black cloak didn't have time to escape. He was quickly burned by the 3-colored flame. No matter how much he tried, he couldn't put out the flame. He couldn't expel it either. His body was quickly burned to ashes. This was a connecting heaven realm expert, yet he was actually burned to death by this flame in front of everyone without being able to resist. Everyone was scared silly. Just what kind of divine flame was capable of such a feat? The Dragon Phoenix Divine Pellet was safe and sound. It flew back to its original position in the auction house as if nobody had touched it. The half-step Tongtian cultivator who had tried to steal the pellet was scared to death. Someone stronger than him had been burned to death by the flame. He had actually tried to steal the pellet. How could he survive? Boom! A power descended and directly smashed his head into pieces. Moreover, his blood did not splatter elsewhere. It was clear that the person who had attacked had perfect control over his power. This is what happens when you cause trouble in the Yang clan. Gong Xilan's voice faintly rang out, and then she said, "Men, drag the corpse out and hang it on the city wall." Yes. The Yang family guard hurriedly responded, quickly rushing over to take the headless corpse away. Everybody was watching everything that had happened in a few seconds. They all held their breaths. When did the Yang clan become so strong? The Duan Run clan's leader had appeared. Everybody was surprised, but a mysterious strong cultivator had also appeared. They were afraid that he was a Tongtian cultivator who had surpassed the Jade Moon layer. Otherwise, how could he have killed the strong cultivator in the black cloak? No wonder the Yang clan dared to auction a divine item. They had already made sufficient preparations. They weren't afraid of anyone causing trouble. Those who had wanted to see the Yang clan become a joke were disappointed. They had to reevaluate the Yang clan's strength. Otherwise, if they continued to oppose the Yang clan, it wouldn't be good for them. On behalf of the Yang family, this old woman thanks everyone for coming to support us. Since our ancestors, our Yang family has never done anything to bully the weak. We do things with a clear conscience and coexist peacefully with friends from all walks of life. We guard the entrance to the devil world and have slain countless devils. Countless sons of our Yang family have died at the hands of the devils. In recent years, our Yang family has declined, and many people think that our Yang family is easy to bully. They think that this old woman is incompetent and can't support the Yang family. I'm just a woman. I don't hope to lead the Yang family to the peak like my ancestors, but I won't let the Yang family completely decline unless someone steps on my body. I hope everyone will take care of each other and don't go too far. Please continue. Gong Xilan said faintly. Her words were filled with killing intent. That astonishing aura made most people unable to breathe. This was the strength of the heaven-penetrating realm. Some half-step heaven-penetrating realm or heaven-penetrating realm powerhouses could feel that Gong Xilan's cultivation was definitely not at the first level of the Jade Moon realm. She was infinitely close to the 3rd level of the Jade Moon realm. This was also Gong Xilan's intention. She had to let people know her strength so that they would treat the Yang clan with caution. Moreover, after this auction, she would immediately break through to the 3rd level of the Jade Moon realm. There was more than one dragon phoenix divine pill. She had only taken one out for auction. Once she reached the third level of the Jade Moon realm, with the divine weapon Yang Wu gave her, even if a mid-level Jade Moon realm martial artist came, she would have the strength to fight. Yang Wu had truly played a huge role in saving the Yang clan. Well said, well said. We respect the Yang clan very much. We will definitely not act recklessly. That's right. Our Tranquil Wind sect has always been on good terms with the Yang clan. In the future, it will also be like this. Whoever dares to go against the Yang clan is going against our Tranquil Wind sect. Our Sun clan has always been an ally of the Yang clan. This will not change. Our Hung Mountain will always be an ally of the Yang clan. Some of the representatives of the various powers spoke one after another. Some wanted to take the opportunity to build a good relationship with the Yang clan. So we're just speaking out of courtesy. Only a few people truly supported the Yang clan. Although the Yang clan saw the hope of rising up, they had not truly risen up yet. Compared to the Xing clan, they were still far off. There were many people who wanted to add flowers to a brocade, but there were not many who would send charcoal in snowy weather. The auction continued. The Dragon Phoenix Divine Pill was sold for 880,000 mid-grade Divine Stones. This price was definitely worth it. The main reason was that many powers were not optimistic about the Yang clan's auction this time. They did not think that there would be many good things appearing. This was also the reason why the Yang clan had set such a low price. As long as this auction was successful, there would be a lot of people sending money to them in the future. At that time, a single Dragon Phoenix Divine Pill could be sold for at least 1 million mid-grade Divine Stones. Yang Wu, who was in the private room, laughed. It's finally over. That's right. It was too scary just now. There was actually someone who tried to snatch it in front of everyone. That's crazy, Wan Lanxin said as she patted her firm chest. There will always be people who dare to kill and steal. Yang Wu said. He thought to himself, many thanks, Little Hay. With Little Hay by his side, he felt even more confident. The omnipotent Little Hay. He really did not know where it came from. Could it really be as it said, that it was an immortal hound? The auction had completely ended. Gong Salon appeared and greeted the people who had come from all directions. These people did not dare to be arrogant. They all came forward to say a few words to her. Gong Salon had come back from the dead and recovered her beautiful appearance. She did not show any signs of aging, nor did she look like she was nearing the end of her lifespan. Various powers guessed that Gong Salon had received the help of an expert behind her back. Or perhaps an expert from the Yang clan had returned. No matter what they thought, to Gong Salon, she had already achieved her goal. She wanted to let others know that not only did she not die of old age, she was still full of vitality and would take another step forward. Whoever dared to bully the Yang clan would have to think twice. Very quickly, the people from various powers left one after another. Only the Dan clan, Sun clan, Mount Hung, and a few other powers received Gong Silon's invitation to visit the Yang clan. They were all allies of the Yang clan. There were also powers that would ally with the Yang clan. They were worthy of her personal hospitality. Wooer, come and accompany the guests. Gong Salon called Yang Wu over. In the eyes of many people, Yang Wu's status was not inferior to Gong Salon's. The person who had just spoken to kill the black-robed elder was undoubtedly Yang Wu. That Little Hay, expert, listened to his orders. Perhaps he was someone from the Heavenly Palace. Yang Wu was the successor of the Heavenly Palace. This news had already spread when the Dragon Phoenix Abyss ended. Who would dare to look down on the Heavenly Palace that had once dominated the Transcendent Realm? Chapter 1160. Purple smoke rose from the purple aura, and flowers bloomed. This was the aura of a family. Only a rising power could cause such a phenomenon. After the Yang family's auction was successful, the Yang family was filled with laughter and joy. The family was even more united. This meant that they were full of hope and confidence for the future. They were no longer lifeless. With such an aura phenomenon, as long as they were not killed, they could continue to grow stronger and eventually become a giant-level power. Our Yang family can finally hold our heads high. Let's see who dares to look down on our Yang family. I knew that our battle clan's Yang family would never fall. We would only become stronger and stronger and return to the top of the battle clan. All of this is because the young patriarch has brought us hope. We can't be dispirited anymore. We have to seize the time to cultivate and become stronger. We have to contribute more to the family. That's right. The young patriarch is our idol. He is our role model. We have to follow him and suppress all those who want to bully us. I want to give birth to a monkey for the young patriarch. Yang Wu's fame in the Yang family had completely exploded. The divine objects he brought back and everything he did for the Yang family. Under Yang Jinghai's intentional promotion, all the family members knew that it was because of him. They had to be grateful and work hard. Otherwise, Yang Wu's hard work alone was not enough. At the same time, the Yang family's upper echelons also hoped that the Yang family's younger generation and future generations would remember Yang Wu's meritorious deeds, lest they didn't know how great this young patriarch was and didn't know how to respect him. This was also Yang Jinghai's way of building momentum for Yang Wu to take over the position of patriarch in the future. However, with Yang Wu's current potential, the Yang family might not be able to tolerate a true dragon like him. Perhaps only a supreme power like the Heavenly Palace would be a place for him to stay. The Heavenly Palace was a superpower that had suppressed an era. All forces respected them. Even though they had been destroyed, their prestige was still there. If Yi Fuqian really obtained the inheritance of the Heavenly Palace, even if he couldn't restore the Heavenly Palace's former glory, it wouldn't be a problem for him to become an overlord. There are pros and cons to announcing Yang Wu's identity. On the one hand, the enemies of the Heavenly Palace would not want to see him grow and would use thunderous means to kill him. On the other hand, there might be people left behind by the Heavenly Palace who would come to lend him a hand. There might be forces who were optimistic about him who would be willing to make friends with him. Overall, the cons outweighed the pros. His master's announcement of his identity had pushed him to the heart of the storm. If he couldn't protect himself, he could be killed at any time. Yang Wu also understood this principle. It was precisely because of this that he had asked Little He to make a move when the auction went awry. Little He's strength had been unsealed to a certain extent. She now had the strength to threaten Ascension Realm cultivators. This was only possible when she caught them off guard. In a head-on clash, Little He might not be able to kill Ascension Realm cultivator. Little He had become the mysterious cultivator behind Yang Wu. She was also the great-grandmother of the Yang family and a member of the Apothecary Alliance. She would be able to intimidate many small fries. The Xing family's bounty was also removed. Everyone thought that the Xing family would increase the bounty on Yang Wu's head. Who knew that after Yang Wu became an invincible empress, his name would disappear from the bounty list? Actually, it wasn't the Xing family who wanted to remove the bounty list, but the Divination Tower. The Xing family couldn't interfere with the Divination Tower's internal affairs. The Xing family couldn't say anything about their troubles. Smart people would think that the Divination Tower was protecting the human race's genius. After 10,000 years, the human race finally had an invincible young emperor. If they didn't protect him, they would become the laughingstock of the other races. At the Yang family's guest hall, Gong Salon, Yang Jinghai, Yang Wu, and a few of the Yang family's sacred elders were hosting a banquet for the honored guests. These honored guests included the Dan family, the Sun family, the Hung Mountain sect, the Tranquil Wind sect, and a few other first- and second-rate powers. Aside from a younger generation, these representatives were at least half-step into the immortal Ascension realm. Some had even reached the immortal Ascension realm. The Dan family's sacred apothecary was half-step into the immortal Ascension realm. She had brought Dan Z along. After receiving the inheritance of the peach-pink flame, Dan Z's appearance changed greatly. Her youthful face and voluptuous breasts had grown much taller. Her face had gained a sharper aura. A peach blossom flame pattern floated between her eyebrows, ready to explode with shocking power at any time. Her pink robes made her look more like an apothecary. Her strength had also risen quickly. She had broken through from the Earth-Sea realm to the Heavenly Fish realm. In just 3 short years, she had improved so much. It was truly shocking. The Sun family had only sent a sacred elder, but he was the patriarch of the Sun family. He had won the divine sword Scarlet Blood at an auction. He He had brought his son, Sun Yong, and his daughter, Sun Ling Er. It was as casual as attending a good friend's family banquet. The Hung Mountain sect had also sent a half-step into the immortal ascension realm guardian elder. Together with him was Wang Yuyang, an expert ranked in the top 1,000 of the previous heavenly dragon ranking. He had now reached the second level of the immortal ascension realm. The Tranquil Wind sect had sent a supreme guardian, a first-level Jade Moon realm immortal ascension old monster. They were a first-rate power in the heavy mountain realm. They were similar in strength to the Chu family. The Chu family had offended the Yang family, and Chu Yin had been captured. The supreme guardian of the Tranquil Wind sect had seen this. The enemy of an enemy was a friend. Therefore, he had expressed his position at the auction and was willing to become allies with the Yang family. The others were all half-step into the immortal ascension realm. They had all lived for thousands of years and were the older generation. The reason they were on good terms with the Yang family was not only because of the Yang family's potential, but also because of Yang Wu. He was a peak-level sacred apothecary. He was worth making friends with in advance. Gong Xilan had recovered her youthful appearance. She was beautiful and powerful. With her hosting this banquet was very successful. The people who had come were all willing to form an alliance with the Yang family. Whether they were sincere or not, they would have to wait to see. No matter what, this was the first step to the Yang family's successful rise. Saint Master Yang Wu, it's better to meet you in person than to hear about you. I've heard your name for a long time. The patriarch of the Sun family was an extremely heroic middle-aged man. He spoke loudly and straightforwardly. He was the kind of person who was easy to get close to. Why do you say that, Patriarch Sun? Yang Wu asked, puzzled. Since you've become friends with Yong and Ling, just call me Uncle Sunday, the patriarch of the Sun family smiled. Then, he looked at his children and said, the two of them admire you very much, especially Ling. She always said that if she could marry a husband like you, it would be her fortune. Tell me, as her father, how can I not be anxious? Father, don't speak nonsense. Sun Ling said with a bashful expression. She did not participate in the battle between the dragons and the phoenixes with her brother Sun Yong. Her strength had not yet crossed the dragon transformation realm. She was still at the peak of the heavenly fish realm. For her to reach such a realm at her current age was still very outstanding. In the past, she did not have any feelings for Yang Wu. However, as Yang Wu grew and her brother constantly praised Yang Wu, she began to admire Yang Wu. Perhaps it would be good to have such a person as her husband. Yang Wu was instantly embarrassed. Without waiting for Yang Wu to reply, the protector elder of the Mount Hung sect said, Patriarch Sun, it's not kind of you to say that. Who doesn't know that Saint Master Yang Wu and our young miss are in love? Our sect master has also recognized him as his son-in-law. You can't interfere. Wang Yuyang said, that's right. Our young miss and Saint Master Yang Wu have gone through life and death together. I believe that Saint Master Yang Wu will not abandon our young miss. Wang Yuyang's words blocked Yang Wu's words. If he dared to say no, he would be a hypocrite. The patriarch of the Sun family smiled and looked at Gong Xilan. Master Gong, we are all from the Battle Clan. The alliance between the Sun and Yang families is a joyous occasion. However, the marriage is even more beautiful. What do you think? I naturally have no objections. However, has always had his own opinions. This matter should be decided by him. This old woman does not dare to make a decision. Gong Xilan smiled. At this time, the Tranquil Wind Sect's Supreme Protector said, Actually, our Tranquil Wind Sect's Holy Maiden's beauty is unparalleled. She is a good match for Saint Master Yang Wu. Old monster you, why are you blindly interfering? The Mount Hung Protector glared at him, then said, This time, we have come to represent Mount Hung to discuss the marriage alliance. Saint Master Yang Wu and our young miss are a match made in heaven. You cannot act recklessly. Otherwise, you will become enemies with our Mount Hung. Mount Hung does not represent the Five Mountains sect. The patriarch of the Sun family said dismissively, That's right. The matters of the youngsters should be decided by them. Next time, I will bring our Tranquil Wind sect's Holy Maiden. Who knows, she might be interested in Saint Master Yang Wu. The tranquil wind sex supreme elder said. The Dan family's saint alchemist said from the side, actually, this time, I have also come to discuss marriage. My Dan family also has a girl who is as beautiful as a lotus flower. She's also a good match for Saint Master Yongwu. This brat is really popular. Yang Jinghai sighed in his heart. After a pause, he thought, I hope he can handle this properly. These are all family allies. We cannot afford to offend them. Oh, my stomach hurts. I need to go to the washroom. Yongwu did not know how to handle this matter, so he chose to go to the washroom. Yongwu did not care whether they agreed or not. He held his stomach and left the banquet. After he left, everyone began to laugh. They all thought highly of Yongwu and wanted to marry their juniors to him. However, they had not reached the point of forcing him. At their level, their horizons were very broad. As long as they maintained a good relationship with Yongwu, it would be fine. They didn't really have to do it through marriage. Of course, it would be best if they could get married. After Yongwu left the banquet, he finally let out a sigh of relief. He let out a long sigh. Being too outstanding is also a sin. If Lu Ji was here, he would definitely agree with him. Thinking of Lu Ji, he could not help but think of a person, Pang Yuan. This was the military advisor that Lu Ji had told him to take good care of. Therefore, Yongwu left the family and went to the outer courtyard of the Yang family to look for Pang Yuan. Pang Yuan, Xue Ji, Du Guang Fo, and Zheng Xiaohu had already been brought to the transcendent world. They did not have the right to enter the Yang family's important grounds and could only stay in the outer courtyard. Yongwu arranged for people to take care of them and ensure that they did not have to worry about food and clothing. He would also help them continue to cultivate and grow. However, when Yongwu saw Pang Yuan again, Pang Yuan was being bullied by others. He was instantly furious and blamed himself in his heart. Damn it, it's all my fault. Chapter 1161. Like Lu Ji, Pang Yuan was good at strategizing. Unfortunately, he didn't have a place to display his talents until he joined Prince Yang's mansion. However, Yongwu trusted Lu Ji more. Basically, everything in Prince Yang's mansion was arranged by Lu Ji. Even though Lu Ji respected Pang Yuan and arranged some things for him to do, he still felt that he didn't have a chance to display his talents. Even so, he still handled his job perfectly. It was obvious that he was outstanding in strategizing. When Yongwu returned to the mortal world, he brought him and the others to the transcendent world. The transcendent world and the mortal world were two different worlds. The stage was wider and there were more opportunities. Pang Yuan thought that this was the time to display his talents. Unfortunately, the ideal was beautiful, but now it was cruel. He was too weak. In the transcendent world, he could only be considered a commoner. After all, this was a world where strength was respected. He was very sad. He stayed in the outer courtyard of the Yang family all day, drinking until he was drunk. He lived a decadent life. The more he drank, the worse his mood became. He looked more sloppy. He was already ugly, so he looked more like a beggar now. He went in and out of the outer courtyard of the Yang family. Finally, he met someone who didn't like him. Not only was he beaten up, but the tendons in his hands and legs were also broken. He became a cripple. Xue Ji, Du Guang Fo, Zheng Xiaohu, and the others came to the Yang family with Pang Yuan. When they heard about Pang Yuan's accident, they were angry. They wanted to go to the Yang family to argue. Unfortunately, they followed in Pang Yuan's footsteps. Fortunately, the person who beat them didn't kill them. They were still alive and sent to the storeroom to do chores. During this period, Yongwu had neglected them. He thought that the Yang family would take care of them for him. Who knew that when he came to find them, he would hear about their tragedy. He was instantly angry. In a storeroom in the outer courtyard of the Yang family, Yongwu's voice roared, "Good, you are all very good. I, Yongwu, must be blind to let you take care of them." At this time, the Yang clan's patriarch and a group of elders were all present. They were all frightened and didn't dare to look straight at Yongwu. Pang Yuan, Xue Ji, Du Guang Fo, and Zheng Xiaohu all lived in this dark and narrow storeroom. Their limbs had been crippled, and their injuries were especially severe. Even though they had the strength of the Earthsea realm, they had no way of recovering. They could only do some light chores and barely manage to take care of themselves. There were even people who took special care of them, so they lived worse than ordinary servants. Yang Wu looked at their miserable appearance, and his heart ached. He had always thought that, with his position in the family, no one would dare to touch his people. Who would have thought that he had overestimated his influence? Moreover, he had neglected to care for them, making him feel guilty. Yang Hongtao, tell me what's going on. I asked you to take care of them, and this is how you treat them? Do you know who they are to me? They are Yang Wu's brothers. You hurting them is the same as hurting me. Yang Wu roared at the patriarch of the Yang clan's patriarch. He was like a black tortoise descending. The terrifying spirit of the black tortoise floated behind him. The patriarch of the Yang clan's patriarch and a group of elders were all scared to the point of prostrating themselves. Although Yang Wu was young, he had the atavistic bloodline. His position in the family was extremely high, and he could suppress clansmen with weaker bloodlines. This was very similar to the Spirit Yao clan. Those with stronger bloodlines were kings, while those with weaker bloodlines were soldiers. Yang Hongtao was the patriarch of the Yang clan's patriarch of the Yang clan's patriarch. He was of the same generation as Yang Hongchang, but he was more than 100 years older than Yang Hongchang. He had the strength of an advanced dragon transformation realm cultivator. He looked to be in his early 40s and was in the prime of his life. The fact that he could take over the position of patriarch of the Yang clan's patriarch meant that his position in the family was not low. He was one of the inner elders. Young patriarch, please calm down. There's a reason for this, Yang Hongtao explained. Without waiting for him to finish, Yang Wu interrupted him and said, "Forget it. Don't talk about this anymore. Zheng Xiaohu, you tell me what's going on." Out of these people, only Zheng Xiaohu was in a slightly better state. After all, he was younger. Pang Yuan was the most heavily injured, and Xue Ji and Du Guangfo were in extremely unstable states. Zheng Xiaohu's eyes revealed a sliver of excitement. I thought the gang master didn't need us anymore. His eyes were a little moist. He was in a better state than the others because he believed that Yang Wu would remember them. Yang Wu did not disappoint them. He had finally come. Yang Wu held Zheng Xiaohu's hand and sighed heavily. I've let you all down. No, master, you didn't do anything wrong. The ones at fault are Yang Junyi and his woman, Zheng Xiaohu said loudly. Don't speak nonsense. An outer elder glared at Zheng Xiaohu and said, Noisy. Yang Wu angrily glared at that elder and reprimanded him. A powerful, imposing aura swept out. Pooh! The elder seemed to have been struck by lightning. He spat out blood and was sent flying. The others were shocked. This was the strength of an intermediate dragon transformation realm cultivator. Even Yang Wu's aura could not withstand it. It was clear how powerful Yang Wu was. Continue, Yang Wu said with a gloomy face. Zheng Xiaohu took a deep breath and told Yang Wu everything. It's actually very simple. Military advisor Pang Yuan drank a little and accidentally scared that woman, Li. That woman gave the order to kill military advisor Pang Yuan. Later, she found out that military advisor Pang Yuan was under the gangmaster. She didn't want to let it go and called Deacon Yang Junyi over to break military advisor Pang Yuan's tendons. After we found out about this, we went to Deacon Yang Junyi to reason with him, but they also broke our tendons. Just because he drank a little too much, he wanted to kill someone. Yang Wu asked. Yes, he felt that military advisor Pang Yuan was strange. He drank and scared her, Zheng Xiaohu said as he glanced at Pang Yuan. Good, what a temper. Who is Li? Who is Yang Junyi? They know that you are my people, yet they still dare to do this. Yang Wu's eyes were about to spit fire. He had already killed the previous outer court patriarch, yet there were still people who dared to act so arrogantly against his people. Their guts were not ordinary. Pang Yuan was indeed ugly, but because he was ugly, there were people who wanted to kill him. This was not an ordinary kind of tyranny. Yang Wu wanted to see who they were. That Li is Yang Junyi's concubine. Yang Junyi said that he is the patriarch's nephew. Even you don't dare to touch him, Zheng Xiaohu said. The patriarch's nephew. This meant that he was Yang Jinghai's nephew. Did Yang Wu dare to touch him? Yang Wu's face darkened. His lungs were about to explode. Yang Hongtao said from the side, Young patriarch, why don't you leave this matter to me? Bring the two of them to me immediately. Yang Wu interrupted Yang Hongtao's roar. He paused for a moment and said, I don't care who he is. Since he dares to tarnish the patriarch's reputation, I will send him to hell. Yang Hongtao and the elders of the Yang clan's outer court all felt the killing intent coming from Yang Wu's body. They were all scared out of their wits. Yang Wu's reputation was at its peak. Even the patriarch had to show some respect to him. Moreover, Yang Wu's words took the patriarch out of the picture. His meaning was very clear. Even if the patriarch was here, he would not be able to stop him from killing. Yang Hongtao and the elders were all chased away by Yang Wu. He ordered them to find Yang Junyi and He Li as soon as possible. He did not want them to be an eyesore here. After they left, Yang Wu apologized to Peng Yuan, Xue Ji, Du Guang Fo, Zheng Xiaohu, and the others. He said, I'm sorry. I didn't do well enough and made you suffer. I guarantee that they will not have a good ending. Master, this is not your fault. Peng Yuan, Xue Ji, Du Guang Fo, Zheng Xiaohu, and the others said in unison. Yang Wu waved his hand and said, You don't have to worry about anything. Since you are willing to follow me to the transcendent realm, I will not let you down. Now, let's heal your injuries first. The other matters will be settled today. No matter who comes, they will not be able to protect them. After saying that, Yang Wu took out the inferior immortal liquid and gave it to them. These people still had resentment towards Yang Wu. They felt that Yang Wu did not care about them after bringing them to the Yang family. They were very unwilling. They were the first group of people to follow Yang Wu. Even if their abilities were not outstanding in the transcendent realm, it did not mean that they were useless. Yang Wu did not come to see them, which caused the people in the outer court of the Yang family to feel that Yang Wu did not care about them at all. That was why they were bullied. Master, please take this immortal liquid. I only ask that you let me go. Peng Yuan, who had been silent the entire time, rejected Yang Wu's inferior immortal liquid. His eyes revealed a look of determination. He wanted to leave the Yang family. He did not want to work for Yang Wu anymore. There was no use for him here anyway. Yang Wu held Peng Yuan's hand and said seriously, Advisor Peng Yuan, I have let you down this time. Your injuries will soon be healed, and no one will dare to bully you in the future. Peng Yuan shook his head and said, Master, regardless of whether my injuries are healed or not, I do not want to be a cripple. I, Peng Yuan, am not good at martial arts. I only have a bit of use for my brain. I don't want to lose that bit of use. I want to find a private school to teach. It would be better than waiting to die here. Advisor, don't speak nonsense. Du Guang Fo reprimanded him. Master has been good to us. At least we have all reached the Earthsea realm. When we return to the mortal world, we can dominate a region. Xue Ji said with a trace of resentment. Yang Wu said to them, I have let you down. Please believe me. You will soon have a place to use your abilities. I came here this time to let you go out and train. In the future, you will be able to stand on your own and do a lot of things for me. If you really want to go, I will not stop you. Drink the immortal liquid first, and we will talk about it after you recover. You are my brothers, and I will not make things difficult for you. Master, are you really letting us go out and train? Our strength is the lowest in the transcendent realm. Do we still have a place to use our abilities? If there is such an opportunity, I will not disappoint, Master. Chapter 1162. Yang family's outer courtyard. In a courtyard, a young man and a woman were playing and having fun. The young man's appearance was not bad, and he seemed to be the type that was more pleasing to the eye. However, there was a hint of arrogance between his brows, which made people dislike him. The woman was very sexy and enchanting. Her clothes were very revealing, and the parts that should not be revealed were vaguely revealed, causing people's blood to boil. Come, baby, don't run. Let me catch you. The young man's face was covered as he played a game of catching people. The woman let out a bell-like smile as she dodged left and right, not letting the young man catch her. The woman knew her limits and played with the young man's interest. The two of them were having a lot of fun. In the end, the woman landed in the young man's arms. The two of them were like dry firewood meeting a raging fire as they groped each other. Young master is so naughty. Don't touch me there. Ha ha, what a bewitching woman. Suddenly, a voice rang out in front of the courtyard gate. "Bad news, Lord Deacon, bad news." The young man let go of the woman who was breathing rapidly and looked coldly at the servant who ran over. "Impudent. If there's anything, say it properly. Why are you in such a panic? Do you want to die?" That servant was scared witless and hurriedly knelt down and said, "Deacon, young clan head." Before he could finish speaking, a voice sounded from outside. "He, come with me." Yang Hongtao appeared in front of the courtyard with a group of elders. The one who spoke was the head of the outer courtyard, Yang Hongtao. The young man and woman were Yang Junyi and He. They were also the ones who injured Pang Yuan, Shueji, Du Guang Fo, and Zheng Xiaohu. Yang Junyi looked at the head of the outer courtyard and a group of elders. A trace of worry appeared on his face as he asked, "Head of the family, what's wrong?" He thought that he hadn't made any big mistakes recently. Why would the head of the family and elders of the outer courtyard come? "Young master wants to see you. Hurry and come with us. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite," Yang Hongtao said with a sullen face. "Young master wants to see me?" Yang Junyi was confused. He then said to himself, "Could it be that those fellows want to tell on me? It seems that not killing them is letting them off too easily." "Bastard, you even dare to kill the young patriarch's men. Men, take him down," Yang Hongtao shouted angrily. Thus, two elders dashed out and tried to grab Yang Junyi and He. How could their strength compare to the elders? They were quickly captured. "Brother Junyi, save me." He panicked. "Bastard, you dare to capture me? Don't you know who my uncle is?" Yang Junyi was also anxious. Originally, his cultivation talent was only average, which was why he was placed in the outer court. If he didn't make any progress, he would only be able to work in the outer court in the future, and he wouldn't have much of a future. Fortunately, the outer court was free and unfettered, and there was no one to control him, which was quite suitable for his temperament. In addition, he was also Yang Jinghai's nephew. Everyone gave him face, and he was even more unbridled in his actions. Many servants secretly called him Young Master, not because he would take over the position of the outer court's patriarch in the future, but because he had the same authority as the future patriarch. No one dared to offend him, or else the consequences would be unimaginable. "Patriarch, don't worry. Let me handle this." Another voice sounded from another direction. A figure quickly dashed in from outside the courtyard. Looking closely, it was a middle-aged man who looked similar to Yang Junyi. He was Yang Junyi's father, Yang Jingjiang. "Father, you came back just in time. They want to capture me," Yang Junyi said anxiously after seeing his father. Yang Jingjiang glared at Yang Junyi. Then he cupped his hands towards Yang Hongtao and said, "Patriarch, I already know about Er's matter. He's in the wrong. I'll deal with him. I'll definitely give the young patriarch and patriarch an explanation." "Great elder, are you trying to shield your son?" Yang Hongtao said with a sullen face. Yang Jingjiang was the #1 elder in the outer court. His status was not inferior to Yang Hongtao. Many times, Yang Jingjiang's words were more effective than Yang Hongtao's. "Didn't I say that I will deal with him? You don't believe me?" Yang Jingjiang looked at Yang Hongtao and said, "It's not that I don't believe you, but the young patriarch wants me to bring them over immediately." Yang Hongtao replied, "Okay, let's go together." Yang Jingjiang said decisively, "Father, can we not go?" Yang Junyi whispered, "Impudent. When you see the young patriarch, apologize to him properly. If you dare not go, I will kill you with one palm." Yang Jingjiang said loudly. He only had one son, and he had always spoiled him. He was quite negligent in disciplining him. This also led to his son acting rampant and not putting anyone in his eyes. This time, he offended Yang Wu. He did not dare to be careless. He only hoped that Yang Wu would give him face. Thus, the group of them headed towards Yang Wu's location. Soon, they arrived in front of the storeroom. There were many guards surrounding the storeroom. No one was allowed to go near. Many servants and maidservants were isolated far away. They all knew that the young patriarch had come and was very angry. Even the patriarch didn't dare to act rashly, so they hid as far away as possible. This kind of thing wasn't something they could just watch. When Yang Hongtao Yang Jingjiang, and the others arrived, Yang Jingjiang said sternly to Yang Junyi and Healy, "Hurry up and kneel down and apologize to the young patriarch." Healy knelt down without a word. Yang Junyi did not kneel. He only bowed and said, "I am sorry, young patriarch." Yang Wu did not even look at the two. He stared at Yang Jingjiang and asked, "You are the elder brother of the patriarch, Deacon Jingjiang, right?" Yang Jingjiang's position in the clan was only an ordinary deacon of the inner court. In the outer court, he was the #1 elder. It was all because he had a good backer. Yang Jingjiang cupped his hands and smiled. "Yes, young patriarch. My son has done something wrong. Please be magnanimous and let him go." He paused for a moment and said, "Jinghai often told me that you are a magnanimous person. You are the future of our clan. Us old fellows are all convinced by you." Yang Jingjiang spoke as if he was talking to a junior. He seemed to be very polite to Yang Wu, but in reality, he pointed out his relationship with Yang Jinghai. Furthermore, he acted as if he was relying on his seniority. Yang Wu looked at Yang Jingjiang calmly and asked, "Do you know what your son did?" "I have a rough idea of what happened. He beat up a few servants that young patriarch brought back. Fortunately, this child knew his limits and did not injure them. I have already severely reprimanded him. He also knows his mistake. I am willing to compensate them. I hope that young patriarch will be magnanimous and forgive them." Yang Jingjiang said disapprovingly, "Who told you that they're the servants that I brought back? They're my brothers who have gone through life and death with me. Do you think a word of apology is enough? I have overestimated you. Today, I will take one hand from each of them for the sake of the patriarch. This matter will be over. Otherwise, you will not be able to bear the consequences." Yang Wu said coldly, "Young patriarch, this is too much." Yang Jingjiang frowned and said, "Father, let's go. Let's see if he dares to take my hand." Yang Junyi said unhappily. Although he knew that Yang Wu's position in the clan was not low, he did not think that Yang Wu could casually need him. Yang Jingjiang glared at Yang Junyi and then said to Yang Wu, "Young patriarch, we came with sincerity. I have a bottle of spirit liquid here that can heal their injuries. The rest will be given to them as an apology. If you are still not satisfied, we can't do anything about it." A bottle of spirit spring water appeared in Yang Jingjiang's hand. It seemed that the quantity was not small and the value was not low. Yang Wu took the spirit spring water from Yang Jingjiang and looked at it. His palm lightly clenched, and with a pung sound, the bottle of spirit spring water was instantly crushed. "Young patriarch, what is the meaning of this?" Yang Jingjiang frowned and said, "Nothing." Yang Wu calmly replied, and then looked at Yang Hongtao and the elders and said, "Who dares to help me cut off these two people's hands?" Yang Hongtao hurriedly said, "Young patriarch, why don't we just forget about this matter?" The others also echoed, "That's right. We are a family. There's no need to make things so awkward. Just forget about it." Yang Jingjiang and Yang Junyi both revealed a trace of pride as they thought to themselves, "What can the young patriarch do to me?" Yang Wu, after all, came back from the mortal world and used to have the identity of sinner's blood. He had only joined the Yang clan for a short period of time. Many people knew about him, but some people did not know enough about his contributions. Even if he was appointed as the young patriarch, the young in front of him had not been removed, so there was no way for him to be compared to the real patriarch. "You guys really disappoint me." Yang Wu sighed and reached out a hand to grab Yang Junyi and Healy. Before anyone could react, their arms were torn off. Blood spurted out like a fountain from their broken arms. It was extremely frightening. The two of them held their broken arms and cried out in pain. Their expressions were filled with pain. "Young patriarch, you dare to do this?" Yang Jingjiang said in a flustered and exasperated manner. "I don't want their lives. This is already the greatest mercy. If they dare to speak any more nonsense, I will kill them. Hurry up and scram." Yang Wu reprimanded. His body's majestic aura swept out, suppressing everyone present to the point that they could not breathe. Yang Jingjiang was forced back by Yang Wu's powerful aura. In the end, he even fell to the ground in a sorry state. Yang Hongtao and the other elders did not dare to speak any more nonsense and left dejectedly. They were afraid that Yang Wu would cripple them in a fit of anger. At the same time, they were worried in their hearts. If the young patriarch wants to settle the score, it will be troublesome. Just now, none of them gave face to Yang Wu, so their hearts were still filled with fear. Yang Jingjiang did not dare to tarry and quickly left with Yang Junyi, completely ignoring He Li. He cursed in his heart, "Yang Wu, you little bastard. I will not let you have an easy time. Just you wait." Chapter 1163. Yang Jingjiang brought the severed Yang Junyi back to the inner clan. He went directly to Yang Jinghai to seek justice for his son. Yang Jinghai was the patriarch of the Yang clan. Ordinary deacons couldn't see him as they wished. However, Yang Jingjiang was different. He was Yang Jinghai's elder brother. It wasn't difficult for him to see Yang Jinghai. When Yang Jingjiang saw Yang Jinghai, he immediately cried and complained, "Jinghai, this time you have to make a decision for Junyi. His arm was torn off, and he knew that he's your nephew, yet he still did this. He simply doesn't put you, the patriarch, in his eyes." Yang Jinghai had just finished entertaining the guests. He hadn't woken up from the joy of the successful auction and gaining a new ally. Suddenly, he heard such bad news. His good mood was ruined. Yang Jinghai glanced at Yang Junyi, who had fainted from the pain, and frowned. "What happened? Let's treat him first. Isn't it because of that brat Yang Wu? After you made him the young patriarch, his wings have hardened. He completely doesn't put you in his eyes. You must teach him a lesson. Otherwise, he won't know who's the master of the clan." Yang Jingjiang complained to Yang Jinghai. At this time, Yang Junyi also woke up. When he saw Yang Jinghai, he cried out, "Patriarch, you must seek justice for me. That Yang Wu really deserves to die." Yang Jinghai didn't expect this matter to be related to Yang Wu. He knew Yang Wu's temperament. He absolutely wouldn't easily make a move on his clansmen unless his bottom line was crossed. In addition, he also knew his nephew's character. He was afraid that he had done something to offend Yang Wu and was taught a lesson by Yang Wu. Yang Jinghai asked, "Tell me the whole story. There can't be any mistakes. Otherwise, I won't help you." Yang Jingjiang gave a brief account of what had happened. He did not hide what had happened, but he avoided the important points and mentioned the trivial ones. He meant that Yang Junyi had only taught a few servants a lesson, and they had apologized and compensated him. It was not worth it for Yang Wu to cripple Yang Junyi. Junyi injured the person Yang Wu brought back from the mortal world? Yang Jinghai asked with a dark expression. "Yes, they're just a few servants, yet they dare to be rude to Junyi's woman. They should be punished." Yang Jingjiang replied. "Are you sure they were rude to Junyi's woman first?" Yang Jinghai asked again. They're just servants. It doesn't matter who was rude first," Yang Jingjiang replied. "Clan leader, those lowly servants, if they're injured, then they're injured. There's nothing that can't be beaten. Yang Wu is clearly using this as a pretext to make a fuss. He just doesn't put you in his eyes. You must teach him a lesson." Yang Junyi said indignantly. "Are you sure you want to treat him properly?" Yang Jinghai asked. Yang Junyi hurriedly replied, "Of course, it would be best to cripple him." As soon as he finished speaking, his face was slapped so hard that his front teeth flew out. Yang Junyi covered his face and cried out in pain, Clan leader, why did you hit me? If you were my nephew, I would beat you to death right now," Yang Jinghai said with a face full of anger. Then he looked at Yang Jingjiang and said, "Let's go. I'll accompany you to apologize to Yang Wu. He should give me some face as the clan leader. Otherwise, there will be no place for you in the Yang clan." "What, Jinghai, are you joking? Are you the clan leader, or is he the clan leader?" Yang Jingjiang said in a panic. "I'm the clan leader, but I'm not as useful as Yang Wu. Moreover, Yang Wu is the hope for our Yang clan to rise. He's much more important than me. The Yang clan can do without me, but it definitely can't do without Yang Wu. You guys have nothing better to do than to touch his people. You're really courting death," Yang Jinghai said angrily. This can't be true, right? His ability is that great?" Yang Jingjiang realized that they had made a serious mistake. If Yang Wu was really more important than Yang Jinghai, and even Yang Jinghai had to give him some respect, then they wouldn't dare to provoke him. He's an invincible young emperor that only appears once in 10,000 years. And he's also a top saint alchemist. These are not things that I can compare with. Moreover, this auction was held because of him. As the clan leader, I can only help him with some trivial matters. It can be said that I'm useless. What do you guys count as? Yang Jinghai said with a self-deprecating smile. He wasn't jealous of Yang Wu. For him, the stronger Yang Wu was, the better. He was the clan leader, and he also hoped that the Yang clan could rise again. For Yang Wu to be able to do this, he could only be happy in his heart. He definitely wouldn't feel the slightest bit unbalanced. Moreover, he also knew what kind of person Yang Wu was. Yang Wu respected him very much. His elder brother and nephew actually offended Yang Wu. They really didn't know what was good for them. Yang Jinghai took Yang Jingjiang and Yang Junyi to find Yang Wu again. Yang Junyi was incomparably tragic. His wound was simply bandaged and couldn't be properly treated. Yang Jinghai said that this was to save him, so he couldn't immediately treat him. Otherwise, Yang Wu wouldn't be able to vent his anger. Yang clan's outer courtyard utility room. After Pang Yuan, Shui Ji, Du Guang Fo, and Zheng Xiaohu took the second-grade immortal liquid, their bodies quickly recovered. The power in their dantian was also crazily increasing. The speed of the increase frightened them. Pang Yuan was only at the human general realm, but he suddenly broke through to the low-level Earth-Sea realm and didn't stop there. Soon, he reached the mid-level Earth-Sea realm and was still rising. Not only that, but a Dao flower was slowly condensing in his divine court. The divine court Dao flower could only be condensed by talented people. Pang Yuan actually condensed a divine court Dao flower at this time. This was a great harvest. Shui Ji, Du Guang Fo, and Zheng Xiaohu had already cultivated to the mid-level Earth-Sea realm. Zheng Xiaohu's talent was even higher. He reached the peak of the mid-level Earth-Sea realm and was only one step away from the high-level Earth-Sea realm. After taking the second-grade immortal liquid, he immediately entered the high-level Earth-Sea realm. The other two also caught up. In the end, their strength reached the peak of the Earth-Sea realm and was infinitely close to the heavenly fish realm. As long as they condensed into a fish, they could break through at any time. There was still a lot of energy in their bodies that hadn't been digested. It was changing their bodies. Layer after layer of impurities were eliminated, and their bodies became incomparably wonderful. Outside the room, Yang Wu felt their changes and smiled. The second-grade immortal liquid is also very effective for ordinary people. It seems that they will soon enter the heavenly fish realm and have some self-protection ability. Soon, the four of them walked out of the storeroom. It was as if they had suddenly become 10 years younger. The devastation they had suffered in the army of death had all disappeared. They were now full of energy. Their skin had become smoother, and their bodies seemed to have grown taller. They had truly taken on a new look. It seems that you've recovered well. Yang Wu looked at them and smiled. The next moment, the four of them knelt down and said, "Thank you, my lord." They knew very well that the immortal liquid Yang Wu gave them was definitely extraordinary. Otherwise, they wouldn't have recovered so quickly and improved their strength so quickly. "Get up," Yang Wu said. He stretched out his hand and gently pulled them up. He looked at Pang Yuan and said, "Military advisor Pang Yuan, do you still want to leave now?" Pang Yuan showed a trace of embarrassment and said, "My lord, Pang Yuan is willing to continue following you. I won't be disloyal anymore." Previously, he had been dissatisfied with Yang Wu's cold treatment of them. Moreover, his talents had not been fully utilized, so he was depressed. Now that he had received the second-grade immortal liquid from Yang Wu, his strength had reached the advanced earthly sea realm in one fell swoop, and he could step into the top earthly sea realm at any time. Moreover, he had condensed the divine court Dao flower and unlocked a certain innate ability. He was extremely grateful to Yang Wu and naturally would not want to leave. "All right, after this incident, I will definitely give you a bigger stage to perform on. I won't give you the cold shoulder anymore," Yang Wu said with satisfaction. Just as he was about to say something, he sensed that someone was coming. "The clan leader is here," someone shouted outside the courtyard. Yang Jinghai came with Yang Jingjiang, Yang Junyi, and He Li. Yang Wu wasn't surprised to see Yang Jinghai come personally. He cupped his hands and said, "Clan leader, why are you here?" Yang Jinghai didn't immediately respond to Yang Wu. Instead, he shouted to Yang Junyi and He Li, "Kneel and apologize. If the young clan leader doesn't forgive you, you'll die in front of him." Yang Junyi and He Li didn't dare to protest. They immediately knelt and begged, "Young clan leader, please forgive us. We won't dare to do it again." Yang Wu didn't look at them. Instead, he looked at Yang Jinghai and said, "Clan leader, I've already taught them a lesson. What are you doing?" Yang Jinghai waved his hand and said, "I already know what happened. They didn't repent and came to me to complain about you. They really don't know what's good for them. If Yang Junyi wasn't my nephew, I would have killed him with one slap. I called them over now to have them apologize to your brothers. If those brothers aren't willing to forgive them, they'll be executed immediately." Yang Junyi and He Li were scared silly. They cried and begged Yang Wu, "Young clan leader, please spare our lives. We won't dare to do it again." Yang Wu said to them, "Go and beg for mercy from my brothers. It's not up to me to decide." As a result, the two of them once again begged Peng Yuan, Shui Ji, Du Guangfo, and Zheng Xiaohu for mercy. They were already filled with regret. If they could do it all over again, they definitely wouldn't have dared to provoke these guys from the countryside. Their backing was too strong. Peng Yuan, Shui Ji, Du Guangfo, and Zheng Xiaohu all felt that their anger had been vented. They wouldn't take the initiative to ask Yang Wu to forgive them. "Did you hear that? My brothers have forgiven you. Hurry up and scram." Yang Wu yelled at Yang Junyi and He Li, "Thank you so much, young clan leader. Thank you so much." Yang Junyi and He Li could finally relax as they hurriedly left the place. Chapter 1164. After Yang Junyi and He Li left, Yang Jingjiang was too ashamed to stay. He apologized to Yang Wu, Peng Yuan, and the others before leaving with his tail between his legs. After they left, Yang Jinghai said to Peng Yuan, Shui Ji, and the others, "I'm sorry. It's all because of my lack of discipline as the patriarch that you've been wronged. I guarantee that no one will dare to hurt you in the future." "Patriarch, you're too polite. We were also in the wrong," the four replied politely. "It's a blessing for you to follow Yang Wu." Yang Jinghai could see that Peng Yuan, Shui Ji, and the others had not only recovered from their injuries, but their auras were still in the process of being released. It was clear that they had not withdrawn their increased strength. It seemed that they had benefited greatly. Yang Wu had done far too many inconceivable things. As the patriarch, he felt ashamed of his inferiority. Yang Wu said from the side, "Patriarch, I've made things difficult for you." Yang Jinghai waved his hand and said, We didn't do anything wrong. It's Yang Junyi who did something wrong. Originally, I could have just slapped him to death, but he's still my nephew. I have to give my big brother some face. Through this matter, it also shows that I haven't handled the matters of the clan well enough. When I return, I will definitely give the order that no one is allowed to stir up internal strife, and no one is allowed to use my name to violate the rules of the clan. Patriarch, you're a righteous person, Yang Wu agreed. Enough, kid. You are someone who has made a great contribution to the clan, and yet there are still people who dare to disrespect you. That's not right. Looks like I will have to give you a grand commendation ceremony, Yang Jinghai said with a smile. Yang Wu shook his head and said, "Forget about these empty things. I still have many things to do. Yes, the entire Yang clan is supported by you. It really isn't easy. As the patriarch, I'm far too incompetent," Yang Jinghai said guiltily. "Patriarch, don't say that. Without you controlling the situation, the clan wouldn't have developed so well. Don't flatter me. Most of the reason why the family is where it is today is because of you. If you have any requests, just tell me. As long as I can do it, I will definitely not refuse. If you believe me, Patriarch, why don't you let Peng Yuan stay by your side as your military advisor? He is wise and resourceful, but he has no place to use his talents. I've thought it over and over, and if you let him stay by your side, he might be able to display his talents." "My lord, how can we do that?" Peng Yuan asked fearfully. "Didn't you think that your true talents and knowledge were useless? Now that I've given you a chance to shine, Do you feel that you're not up to the task? Yang Wu asked Peng Yuan in return. Originally, he really did not know how to deal with Peng Yuan. Yang Jinghai's appearance gave him an idea instead. No, I just want to stay by Master's side, Peng Yuanzhong said in his heart. Yang Wu replied, I still have to run around. I don't have time for you. Also, this is my home. If you stay here and work for me, it's no different from helping me. Yang Jinghai looked at the strange-looking Peng Yuan and said, That's right. Since Yang Wu thinks so highly of you, you can stay by my side and be my advisor. If you can come up with good ideas and help the Yang family develop, I'll make you the chief military advisor. Did you hear that? If you don't cherish this opportunity, you can't blame me anymore, Yang Wu said to Peng Yuan. Peng Yuan hesitated for a moment before patting his chest and saying, My lord, Patriarch, you think highly of me. I will definitely do my best to help. Okay, then it's decided. Yang Wu and Yang Jinghai reached an agreement. In addition, Yang Wu had Xue Ji, Du Guang Fo, and Zheng Xiaohu follow Peng Yuan to protect his safety. In fact, it was to give them time to cultivate and temper themselves. Peng Yuan would definitely have a lot of things to do by Yang Jinghai's side. He couldn't do it all by himself. He could arrange for Xue Ji, Du Guang Fo, and Zheng Xiaohu to do it. Their statuses would greatly increase. Their physiques had already changed. As long as they had enough time, they could grow and become small saints in the future. It was even possible for them to become saints. After Yang Wu dealt with them, he and Yang Jinghai brought them to the inner court. After Yang Wu returned to the inner court, he wanted to find Little Man and bring her to the Sacred Flame sect. Now, Danlong had become a saint alchemist. With him overseeing the family, Yang Wu could be more at ease. In addition, the Yang family had a few more allies. No one would dare to find trouble with them in a short period of time. Even if it was the Chu family, if the Chu family's ancestor dared to come, he would definitely have to face the consequences. Before Yang Wu could find Little Man, he was stopped by a woman with a fiery figure. Master, you really made it hard for me to find you, the woman said in a coquettish tone. This woman was Yang Wu's first disciple, Danzi. She had changed a lot. There was a peach blossom mark floating between her eyebrows. Her eyes also seemed to have the color of peach blossoms. It was very captivating. Even the alchemist's robe couldn't hide her proud body. When she walked, she had a bit more enchanting charm. Compared to before, she was more mature and moving. Yang Wu looked at Danzi with a stern face and said, Is this how you talk to your master? Danzi bit her lips and said, Master, I just haven't seen you for a long time. You don't miss me at all. If you dare to be impudent again, do you believe that I won't chase you away immediately? Master, how can you be so cruel? I think you don't put me in your eyes after obtaining the inheritance of the peach-pink flame. This disciple doesn't dare. Master, don't be angry. This disciple hasn't listened to Master's teachings for a long time. Can you teach this disciple again? As long as you want to hear it, I will naturally teach you. Yang Wu and Danzi talked as they walked towards the bamboo courtyard. In these 2 years, Danzi had improved very quickly in the Dan clan. Not only did she obtain the inheritance of the peach-pink flame, she also received the nurturing of the Dan clan's ancestor. Not only had her strength reached the heavenly fish realm, she had also become a second tribulation heavenly alchemist. She already had a good reputation in the Dan clan. It wouldn't be long before she could reach the dragon transformation realm and become a little saint alchemist. She was still very young. In the future, she would definitely become a dazzling female alchemist in the transcendent realm. After arriving at the bamboo courtyard, Yang Wu and Danzi discussed the Tao of alchemy. Danzi also no longer teased her honored master. She liked him, but he didn't have the slightest bit of improper thoughts towards her. There was only the friendship of master and disciple. She could only suppress these feelings in her heart. In any case, being his disciple, it was enough for her to be able to frequently stay with him. If her thoughts were known by others, they would probably reprimand her for acting recklessly. The love between master and disciple had always been a taboo. In these 2 years, Danzi had been receiving the inheritance of the peach-pink flame. She had always thought that her level of alchemy was far from what ordinary alchemists could compare to. Even saint alchemists were the same. who knew that compared to her master, she was still far from it. Even if she obtained the inheritance of a divine level, many of her insights were still incomparable to Yangwu's. The pill formulas and alchemy skills that Yangwu possessed were far above hers. It was completely not something that an inheritor like her could compare to. The little bit of pride in her heart was shattered into pieces. Master will definitely become a top-notch divine alchemist in the future, Danzi said with certainty in her heart. She then said to Yangwu, Master, your alchemy skills are too powerful. Is it really like the rumors say that you obtained the true teachings of the Heavenly Palace? Then, am I considered a disciple of the Heavenly Palace? The Heavenly Palace was a legend in the transcendental world. Even if it had already disappeared in the long river of history, its fame still made people yearn for it. Rumors about Yangwu being a disciple of the Heavenly Palace had already spread throughout the transcendental world. The Heavenly Palace had been destroyed for who knew how many years, but there were still disciples of the Heavenly Palace. This was a big matter. Many of the powers that had participated in the annihilation of the Heavenly Palace would definitely not let Yangwu go. In the past, many geniuses considered themselves to be disciples of the Heavenly Palace, but they all died unnatural deaths. This time, could Yangwu be an exception? Danzi didn't think that far. She only thought that if Yangwu was a disciple of the Heavenly Palace, then wouldn't she also be a disciple of the Heavenly Palace? Many young people yearned for the Heavenly Palace that dominated the transcendental world and wanted to become a part of it. Yangwu said, I am a disciple of the Heavenly Palace, but you are not. Why? Because every disciple of the Heavenly Palace must pass a test and leave their name on the Heavenly Steel. Only then can they become a disciple of the Heavenly Palace. Oh, then take me to the test. I will definitely become a disciple of the Heavenly Palace. We'll talk about this later. After you came back, did you go see your grandfather? He has already become a saint alchemist. Ah, why didn't grandfather tell me? After Yangwu and Danzi stayed for half a day, he sent her away and had her go see Ai Sha and Shui Xiaofan. It wasn't right for her to always stay with him. However, they had already agreed to go to the Yin Xiang realm together. The Dan clan was in the Yin Xiang realm, in the same realm as the Sacred Flame sect and the Yin Yang Spirit sect. Yangwu sent people to find the little man. The little man and Wan Lanxin came together. Recently, they had been together every day like sisters. Little man, get ready. We're going to the Sacred Flame sect. Yangwu said to the little man, no need to prepare. I can leave with young master at any time. The little man replied. After pausing for a moment, she said with a nervous expression, young master, do you think my sister will acknowledge me? She thought that she had lost her family long ago, so she treated Yangwu as her only family. Recently, when she found out that she still had parents and a sister, her feelings were very complicated. There was anticipation, fear, and nervousness. Yangwu smiled faintly and said, if she dares not acknowledge you, you should teach her a lesson. Her strength is far inferior to yours. No, how can I hit my sister? I love her too much. The little man quickly waved her hand. Little man is always so kind, Wan Lanxin said with a smile. After pausing for a moment, she said, I won't accompany you. I want to go into seclusion and try to break through to the dragon transformation realm. Don't just cultivate. You need to go out and temper your battle strength. Yangwu reminded Wan Lanxin. Yes, I know. Master said so too. Wan Lanxin nodded. Okay, wait for me to return. I hope you have reached the dragon transformation realm. Chapter 1165. Yang Clan. Give me back my son, or I'll destroy the Yang Clan. Outside the Yang residence, a loud and clear voice resounded faintly, spreading to every corner of the Yang residence. It was the voice of a sky-penetrating layer cultivator. Otherwise, it couldn't have reached the Yang clan. The person who came was the old ancestor of the Chu clan. At this moment, he was right outside the Yang clan city. He stood in the air, releasing an extremely majestic aura that enveloped the Yang clan city. As long as he made a move, the Yang clan city could be destroyed with a flip of his hand. Who gave you the guts to cause trouble for the Yang clan? A person came out and replied indifferently. The ancestor of the Chu clan frowned and said, I've heard that Duan Ren City's leader has become a lackey of the Yang clan. Today I see that it's true. What did the Yang clan give you to make you work so hard for them? The Duan Ren City leader sneered. You don't need to know. Show me your sincerity, or you won't be able to leave. Duan Ren City leader, are you sure you want to stand on the Yang clan side? Don't you know that the Yang clan can be destroyed at any time? You don't need to worry about that. It seems like we can't talk about it. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Try me and you'll know. The two Jade Moon Realm Heaven-reaching experts started fighting as soon as they said they would, and did not say much. They wouldn't fight casually in this place. Otherwise, they could destroy the Yang clan easily. They rushed to the sky to fight. The ancestor of the Chu clan had practiced to the Jade Moon layer on his own. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to come to the Yang clan personally. The Duan Ren City leader could survive in the War Clan world. His strength was indisputable. When they took action, irregular scenes appeared. Thunderous sounds continuously sounded in the sky, and waves of clouds scattered. From time to time, streaks of 10,000 Zhang radiance would flash about. It was extremely horrifying. In the sky above the Yang clan, Gong Xilan appeared with Yang Wu. They were watching the battle in the sky. Is this a battle between sky-penetrating layer cultivators? It's terrifying. Yang Wu couldn't help but sigh. He couldn't see the battle clearly, but he could feel the terrifying power from the energy waves. Yes, they're only at the early stage of the Jade Moon Realm. If they reach the middle stage of the Jade Moon Realm, their battle prowess will be even more terrifying. Gong Xilan replied, The Xing clan doesn't have anyone at the Jade Moon Realm or above. Yang Wu asked, Of course. Then why didn't they directly wipe out our Yang family? Why did they delay until now? Aren't they afraid that the rise of our Yang family will threaten them? As long as I'm alive, they won't dare to go too far. The other clans won't allow them to do so either. Why? Our Yang family's ancestors didn't make so many contributions to the human race in vain. If it wasn't for that incident 800 years ago, the Xing clan wouldn't have dared to openly suppress our Yang clan. What happened 800 years ago? After you break through to the Star Rune realm, you will naturally know. Remember to stay away from the Xianyuan clan. Duanren City's lord made his move. The terrifying saber light enveloped the world as if it was going to split the sky in half. The terrifying saber, Qi, had an invincible spirit of killing gods and demons. The Chu clan's ancestor was terrified. He lost his voice and said, Godly weapon. Stop, I admit defeat. The Duanren City's lord had been able to stand firm for a long time. Apart from some unknown secrets, it was also because of his godly weapon. The broken saber in his hand had already combined into one. It had become a real godly weapon. It was easy to deal with the Chu clan's ancestor. The Duanren City's lord stopped. He didn't think he could kill the Chu clan's ancestor with one strike. After breaking through to the Jade Moon Realm, as long as it wasn't a fatal injury, he could recover. He didn't want to kill the Chu clan's ancestor. Otherwise, Duanren City wouldn't be peaceful. The Duanren City's lord didn't want to get involved in this matter, but he couldn't resist Gong Xilan's temptation. Gong Xilan obviously wouldn't use her beauty to lure the Duanren City's lord to stay. She used the Dragon Phoenix pellet to lure the Duanren City's lord to stay. The Dragon Phoenix pellet, which Tong Tian old man wouldn't covet it. The Duanren City's lord wasn't an exception. Before that, the Dragon Phoenix pellet had been sold at an auction. The price was incredible. The Duanren City's lord didn't have that many godly stones, so he could only use other methods to exchange for it. Gong Xilan's condition was that the Duanren City's lord would protect the Yang clan for 100 years. After 100 years, he would give her a Dragon Phoenix pellet. 100 years seemed to be a long time, but for Tong Tian old man, it wasn't a long time. 1 or 2 closed-door cultivation sessions would be over. The only problem was whether or not people would come looking for trouble with the Yang clan. The Duanren City's lord agreed. Cultivating in the Yang clan for 100 years wasn't much different from cultivating in Duanren City. As long as he could get a Dragon Phoenix pellet, it would be worth it. Let's talk about compensation. Otherwise, don't blame me for killing my way to your Chu clan. The Duanren city's lord sneered at the Chu clan's ancestor. The Chu clan's ancestor's face turned red and white. He said, "I want to see Chu Yin." "Don't worry, he won't die." The Duanren city's lord replied. "You represent the Yang clan?" The Chu clan's ancestor glanced at Gong Xilan's direction and asked Duanren. He was a little nervous, afraid that Gong Xilan would join hands with the Duanren city's lord to deal with him. "He's just a first-level star rune realm brat. Do you think Master Gong Xilan would negotiate with you? You think too highly of the Chu clan's people." "Okay, you name a price." Gong Xilan didn't care about the negotiations between the Duanren city's lord and the Chu clan's ancestor. She took Yang Wu back to the Yang clan. Just like what the Duanren city's lord said, she didn't put Chu Yin in her eyes. She just wanted to use this matter to suppress the Chu clan's arrogance. After Yang Wu followed Gong Xilan back to the Yang clan, he left for the Sacred Flame sect. This time, Qing Feng didn't follow Yang Wu. She repeatedly failed to protect Yang Wu. Her heart was filled with self-blame. She wanted to increase her strength again so that she could protect Yang Wu. Gong Xilan originally arranged for the Duanren city's lord to secretly protect Yang Wu on his way to the Sacred Flame sect. However, Yang Wu refused. He had become the invincible king of the battle between the dragon and the phoenix. He had relied on his own strength. He didn't rely on others to protect him. Moreover, with little He by his side, it wouldn't be a problem to protect his life. Gong Xilan didn't know little He's ability. However, she knew that there was a mysterious expert secretly following Yang Wu. She didn't force him. Therefore, Yang Wu took little man, Dan Zi, white-haired Demonis, Sundo, Yang Ba, Su Chu, and the others and set off. Little He, the silver-patterned turtle, and the golden-crowned eagle also followed. The silver-patterned turtle's fighting strength had increased a lot after receiving little He's guidance. It wouldn't take long for it to surpass the golden-crowned eagle. The golden-crowned eagle was the top prodigy of the spirit demon clan. He would soon become a demi-saint or even a demon saint. He had great potential. If the silver-patterned turtle could surpass him, it would be quite amazing. The white-haired Demonis had advanced to the third level of the star pattern realm during this period of time. She had crossed 2 small levels in a row. The speed of her advancement couldn't be described as slow. The reason why she could advance so quickly, apart from her own talent, was also because she had taken the star pattern pills refined by Yang Wu and the second-grade immortal liquid. She had successfully broken through consecutively. The second-grade immortal liquid could solve the hidden dangers brought about by the elixir. Her breakthrough this time had no after-effects at all, and her foundation had been strengthened once again, making up for the time she had been delayed in the City of Redemption. After this breakthrough, it would be much easier for her to advance in the future. Her cultivation talent wasn't inferior to any of the top prodigies. Sun Do, Yang Ba, Su Chu, and the others had all taken the second-grade immortal liquid. Their physiques had improved, and their strength had increased. The first 2 had reached the demi-saint realm, 1 step away from the first level of the star pattern realm. In order to temper their foundation, they had suppressed their breakthroughs. Su Chu, on the other hand, had reached the peak of the dragon transformation realm, catching up to the top prodigies. With his combat strength, even an ordinary saint would be a piece of cake. It could be said that these people's strength was increasing crazily. Yang Wu couldn't help but sigh. He had only used a drop of the immortal liquid to help so many people advance. If a drop of the immortal liquid was used on one of them, it wouldn't be a problem for them to advance directly. Even a powerhouse in the Jade Moon realm could advance by 1 level, right? The one who had benefited the most from Yang Wu was the sacred mandala flower. She had taken a whole drop of the immortal liquid. Not only had she come back from the dead, but her strength had also increased by leaps and bounds. She had jumped from the beginner saint realm to the intermediate saint realm, and now she had directly reached the advanced saint realm. The power of the drop of immortal liquid had just been completely digested. In addition to helping her become stronger, the immortal liquid had also changed her form, showing the powerful form of one of the top 10 evil plants. In the future, she could continue to evolve and become an ultimate mandala flower. With the protection of the sacred mandala flower by his side, this was also one of Yang Wu's greatest mysteries. The golden scorpion beside her also had unexpected and deadly power. Little Man hadn't taken the inferior immortal liquid. According to Little Hay, he had to give her a complete drop of the immortal liquid. She had been taught by Little Hay, and Little Hay had treated her extraordinarily well. Yang Wu sat cross-legged on the golden-crowned eagle. Little Hay sat on the silver-patterned turtle, and the others sat on Little Man's beasts. The group followed Dan Zi and the Dan family's protectors to the imprint domain. Ing Wu Chang, are you sure you want to follow me to the end? Yang Wu asked the golden-crowned eagle below him. The eagle replied, for now. If I surpass you one day, I'll leave you. The golden-crowned eagle had its pride. Not just anyone could tame it. It was willing to follow Yang Wu because it saw Yang Wu's invincible aura and believed that Yang Wu would become a dominator in the future. If it chased Yang Wu away, Yang Wu wouldn't be worth it. All right, I won't give you that chance. In addition, I'll do my best to help you grow faster. I won't let you be buried. I was waiting for you to say that. Chapter 1166. The Xing family was ranked third among the war clans. They had a large population and were prosperous. Recently, their prosperity had shown signs of weakening. This was something that had not happened in the past few thousand years. Only those who had reached the Jade Moon realm could sense such a change. Two heaven-reaching old monsters looked at the flower of momentum in the sky above their clans with solemn expressions on their faces. It seems that the Xing family is about to face its first crisis in 10,000 years. If we can't solve this problem, I'm afraid the family will decline. It can't be that serious. It's just a slight stagnation. Maybe the little guys in the family are neglecting them. We just need to increase their strength. It can't be that simple. Our Xing family has been on the rise all these years. In recent years, it has stopped rising. Now, there are signs of decline. This problem must be serious. Could it be that someone wants to deal with our Xing family? That might not be the case. Maybe an enemy has risen and threatened our family. If we don't get rid of them in time, the consequences will be unimaginable. You mean the Yang family? Yes. We need to break their bones as soon as possible, then destroy their foundation and completely destroy them. What about the agreement of the 8 clans? We need to solve the problem in the world of battles and make them break the agreement. Death Mountain Range. This was the forbidden area of the Transcendent Realm. It was located in the Death Realm, also known as the Yama Realm. It was the territory of the Yama Palace. The Yama Palace was a giant force in the Transcendent Realm. It was the top existence among the many giant forces. They cultivated the path of death, which was called the evil path or the demonic sect. Everyone wanted to kill them and completely eradicate the Yama Palace. Unfortunately, no one had been able to do so. They were still living well in this realm and had become the overlords of this realm. No other force dared to provoke them. There were many people who cultivated the Tao of death, and many of them had died. They had killed even more living beings. They had to wander around the edge of death in order to comprehend the Tao of death. If they failed to comprehend the Tao of death, they might become a dead person. The Great Hall of the King of Hell wasn't as dark and terrifying as the legend said. Instead, it was decorated magnificently, luxuriously, and was comparable to an immortal palace. There was an illusory figure sitting on the unique main seat. His appearance could not be seen, but an indescribable aura was emitted from him. No one below dared to look at him directly. He said in a cold voice, "The young invincible emperor, Yang Wu, must be brought back. If he dares to resist or refuse, I'll summon the king of Hell's order." "Hall Master, there's no need to request the king of Hell's order," someone replied nervously. This person was the Rose of Death. She was now the holy maiden of the king of Hell's palace. Those who cultivate the Tao of death aren't allowed to wander outside. If he's willing to join Yama's palace, you could be together. If he's not willing to join, he'll be executed immediately, said the illusory figure before disappearing from his seat. Let's go. No one can change the Hall Master's orders. A cold man beside the Rose of Death said. After a pause, he smiled and said, "With Yang Wu's personality, he definitely won't be willing to join our king of Hell's palace. I'm afraid he's dead for sure. I'll persuade him to join our king of Hell's palace," replied the Rose of Death. She then turned and walked out of the hall. The Sacred Flame sect was a magnate-level force. Their founder obtained a sacred flame called the Sky-Burning Sacred Flame and started to establish the sect. After countless years of development, the Sacred Flame sect had also become a magnate-level force. The Sacred Flame sect had many martial artists who cultivated fire-profound chi, but there weren't many who were good at refining pills. Instead, there were more people who were good at refining weapons. Moreover, they had a divine weapon master. Many high-quality weapons came from the Sacred Flame sect. Just by relying on the ability of the weapon master, the Sacred Flame sect could accumulate wealth like crazy. Yang Wu finally arrived at the Sacred Flame sect's territory with the little man, Young. Young master, do you think I can really see my father and sister? The little man asked nervously. Yang Wu smiled and said, Girl, you've asked so many times along the way. You'll definitely see them. Young master, why don't we go back? I don't want to see them anymore, the little man said in a conflicted tone. Yang Wu asked in surprise, Why did you change your mind? My fate isn't good. I curse my adoptive parents and the master who took me in before to death. I don't want to curse them to death. You also believe in fate? Then why don't you see anything happen to me when you're by my side? Young master is different. Your fate is hard. I can't curse you. Instead, I can obtain benefits by following young master. Young master, you won't blame me, right? Silly girl, what kind of theory is that? Don't worry. You're so outstanding now. No one can hurt your father and sister, not even the people from the Sacred Flame sect. Yang Wu led the little man and the others into the Sacred Flame City. This was the largest city under the direct control of the Sacred Flame sect. This was a famous city. The buildings were very grand. Many exotic pavilions rose from the ground. They were arranged in a picturesque manner, forming a unique scenery. This place was bustling with people and was extraordinarily prosperous. After Yang Wu and the others arrived, a voice rang out. Saint Master Yang Wu, you're finally here. A team riding on mighty spirit demons quickly came forward to welcome them. The leader was the Sacred Flame sect's genius, Arian. He was also one of the people who had followed Yang Wu in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. He had always been secretly in love with the little man, Arian. Why are you here? Yang Wu asked with a smile when he saw Arian. The other party was a dull guy. In the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, he had privately challenged Yang Wu to a duel. Yang Wu had taught him well. From then on, he was sincerely convinced by Yang Wu. The Saintess asked me to wait for you here. She guessed that you would come over soon. Arian responded. He looked at the little man and could not hide his love for her. He knew that the little man did not like him, but that did not stop him from liking the little man. Fian is considerate. Yang Wu nodded. Then he said, You know why we're here. What do you plan to do? The Saintess said that since you're here, you can enter the sect directly. Our sect leader will personally receive you. Please follow me. Arian said, Okay. Yang Wu nodded in satisfaction. Young master. The little man was still very nervous. Yang Wu patted the little man's shoulder and said, I'll leave everything to you. Let's go. The little man looked at Yang Wu and instantly calmed down. Thus, they followed Arian to the Sacred Flame sect's important grounds. The Sacred Flame sect was built in a place where the Xian Qi of heaven and earth gathered. The area it occupied was many times larger than the Sacred Flame City. There were foreign castles, low mountains and streams, ancient trees and spirit herbs, birds and beasts. The scenery was very beautiful. It was a good place to cultivate and live. The difference between the Yang family's territory and the Sacred Flame sects was like heaven and earth. Arian was one of the top prodigies of the Sacred Flame sect. His status was extraordinary. No one dared to question him when he brought Yang Wu and the others in. Soon, Tuoba Fian also appeared. Besides her, there were a few other prodigies who had entered the Dragon Phoenix Abyss with her. Saint Master Yang Wu is so happy to see you. When Tuoba Fian and the others saw Yang Wu, they were all overjoyed. Yang Wu's invincible display in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss had completely shocked them. They were sincerely impressed by Yang Wu. Hee, I'm also very happy to see you all. Yang Wu laughed. Little man, your father and sister are already waiting for you in the hall. I'll bring you to see them. Tuoba Fian came to little man's side and held the little man's hand affectionately. "Thank you, Sister Fian," the little man said gratefully. Yang Wu and the others entered the hall to see the leader of the Sacred Flame sect. Whether it was Sun Do, Yang Ba, the golden-crowned eagle, or the silver-patterned tortoise, they were all prodigies who had entered the Dragon Phoenix abyss. Their future achievements would not be low. They were all qualified to meet the leader of the Sacred Flame sect. The hall of the Sacred Flame sect was an incomparably huge castle. After entering, it was a vast space. There were 18 huge pillars supporting the castle. The pillars were carved with dragons and phoenixes. In the middle of the main seat, there were 2 balls of sacred flame floating on the left and right. They were brown flames that danced like fairies and were very eye-catching. The leader of the Sacred Flame sect sat in the middle of the Sacred Flame sect like a high and mighty flame king. Past leaders of the Sacred Flame sect had to be martial artists who cultivated fire Xian Qi to be qualified. The leader of the Sacred Flame sect was no exception. In the hall, other than the leader of the Sacred Flame sect, there were also a dozen sacred elders. "Leader, Saint Master Yang Wu is here." Tuoba Fian bowed and said to the leader. The leader of the Sacred Flame sect walked down from the main seat and said with a smile, "Saint Master Yang Wu, I've heard a lot about you. Welcome to my Sacred Flame sect as a guest." Yang Wu cupped his hands towards the leader of the Sacred Flame sect and said, "Greetings, leader. Yang Wu has also heard a lot about you." The leader of the Sacred Flame sect looked to be in his early 30s. In his prime, he was spirited and had a shocking aura. As expected of the leader of a giant force, his strength had probably reached the high level of the Saint Realm. "Saint Master Yang Wu is too kind. I can't compare to you. Seeing how young you are, I realize that we are already very old," the leader of the Sacred Flame sect said. Although Yang Wu had not broken through to the Star Rune realm, his identity as a top-notch saint alchemist was enough to be on par with the leader of the Sacred Flame sect. This was also the reason why the leader of the Sacred Flame sect was so polite to him. After Yang Wu and the leader of the Sacred Flame sect exchanged a few polite words, they finally changed the topic to Little Man and said, "Leader, this time, I'm here for Little Man to recognize her relatives. Why don't you let her see her relatives first?" Little Man looked at the leader of the Sacred Flame sect with a longing expression. The leader of the Sacred Flame sect's gaze also landed on Little Man. A glint flashed in his eyes as he said, "Of course. Men, invite them out." Chapter 1167. Little Man still had 2 close relatives, Huangfu Zhanxiong and Huangfu Mingyu. Her mother had died not long after giving birth to them. Because of Little Man's disappearance, she was depressed and passed away soon after. After Huangfu Mingyu became a direct disciple of the Sacred Flame sect, her father, Huangfu Zhanxiong, was also brought to the Sacred Flame sect. Huangfu Mingyu had walked up the heavenly staircase and awakened her bloodline talent. After a few years of hard work, her strength had also stepped into the dragon transformation realm. She did not participate in the recent battle between the dragons and the phoenixes because she had just stepped into the dragon transformation realm and was still very young. In another 50 years, she would still be less than 100 years old. By then, if she participated in the battle between the dragons and the phoenixes, she would definitely be able to fight for a very high ranking. Huangfu Zhanxiong had come to the Sacred Flame sect thanks to his daughter's good fortune. His strength had also improved by leaps and bounds. From the initial Earthsea realm, he had also reached the mid-level Heavenly Fish realm. His speed of improvement was not considered slow. The 2 of them had long known about Little Man's news. They were extremely excited and hoped to reunite with her soon. However, the Sacred Flame sect had a request. They had to keep Little Man no matter what. Otherwise, they would not be able to reunite. They had no choice but to agree. This was a good thing for them. They had been doing well in the Sacred Flame sect. If Little Man was with them, she would not be doing too badly. When they walked out from the back of the hall, Lil Man stared at them. She was extremely emotional, and tears kept flowing down from her beautiful eyes. The bloodline power in their bodies was boiling and resonating. They were related by blood and flesh. It cannot be fake. The most excited person was Huangfu Zhanxiang. Little man had gone missing when she was born. He had never felt good. He had dreamed many times that his eldest daughter would return to his side. Unfortunately, every time he woke up from his dream, what awaited him was endless disappointment. This time, he was also afraid that it was a dream. Huangfu Zhanxiang walked step by step toward little man and called out in a choked voice, "Daughter, daughter." The little man was extremely flustered. She clearly felt that Huangfu Zhanxiang was her father, but when they met, she still did not know how to face him. "Go, he is your father." Yang Wu comforted him. The little man took a deep breath and walked towards Huangfu Zhanxiang. Then she knelt down and cried, "Daughter greets father." Huangfu Zhanxiang rushed over to support her and said, "Good girl, good girl. Father thought he would never see you again in this lifetime." Then he waved to Huangfu Mingyu and said, "Mingyu, come and meet your sister." Huangfu Mingyu's feelings were extremely complicated. In fact, she already knew that she had a sister and also knew that she was still alive. But when she met her for the first time, she didn't know how to face her. She felt that half of her father had been taken away in an instant, and her heart was somewhat jealous. But when she looked at the other party's face that looked almost the same as hers, the resentment in her heart disappeared without a trace. The Sacred Flame sect leader waved his hand and said, "All right, you all go down and gather. There are still guests here." "Thank you, sect leader." Huangfu Zhanxiang came back to his senses and responded respectfully. Huangfu Zhanxiang prepared to leave with the two girls. He had a lot to say. "Young master, I want to talk to them." The little man turned around and said to Yang Wu, "Go, I will stay here for the next few days." Yang Wu smiled and said. He was also happy for the little man in his heart. Family was never something that could be replaced by others. Huangfu Zhanxiang quickly walked out of the hall with the two girls. Yang Wu and the others stayed in the hall and communicated with the Sacred Flame sect leader and the sacred elders. Yang Wu was a young, invincible emperor. When he grew up, he had the potential to become an invincible saint. Moreover, he was a top-notch sacred medicine master. He was fully qualified to receive some courtesy from the Sacred Flame sect. Yang Wu hoped that the Yang family and the Sacred Flame sect could become allies. However, the Sacred Flame sect leader did not seem to be interested in this. Instead, he asked Yang Wu if he could trade with them for the divine item he obtained from the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. They were willing to pay enough sincerity. In addition, the Sacred Flame sect could also trade with the Yang family. The Sacred Flame sect hoped to obtain the high-grade elixirs refined by Yang Wu. Yang Wu was not stupid. The Sacred Flame sect leader was too shrewd. He did not want to pay too much and wanted to get a big reward. He did not agree to the other party's conditions. The Sacred Flame sect leader did not mind. He arranged a banquet to entertain Yang Wu. At the banquet, there was singing and dancing. It was a joyous scene. When the banquet ended, the Sacred Flame sect leader arranged for Sun Do, Yang Ba, and the others to rest. He left Yang Wu alone. Yang Wu was not worried that the Sacred Flame sect leader would play any tricks. Little He was still by his side at all times. Even if the Tongtian old monster wanted to deal with him, he might not be able to get away with it. "Saint Master Yang Wu, I sincerely want to talk to you. As long as you are willing to take out something that can move me, I will allow you to take away a wisp of fire from my sect to strengthen the power of your primordial flame." The Sacred Flame sect leader went straight to the point. This time, he really showed some sincerity. Yang Wu smiled and said, "Sect leader, a wisp of fire is not very useful to me. Don't underestimate the power of the sky-burning flame. It has already become a divine flame. Even if it is only a wisp of fire, it is enough to help your primordial flame level up. Sect leader, your Sacred Flame sect is rich and imposing. Why are you still so stingy? Although the sky-burning divine flame is of a shocking level, a wisp of fire is not enough to satisfy me. Unless you let me enter your sect's holy ground of fire to cultivate for a few days, I can consider it. The holy ground of fire is only open to our sect's disciples. Saint Master Yang Wu, change your conditions. Then there is nothing to talk about. In the end, The Sacred Flame sect leader agreed to let Yongwu enter the holy ground of fire to cultivate for 7 days and give him a wisp of fire. The prerequisite was that Yongwu could take out something that satisfied him. Yongwu dared to raise conditions because he was confident. He took out a piece of Phoenix primordial firestone. This was a stone that he had picked up from the boundary passage. It contained the Phoenix primordial fire. Although it could not be absorbed, it could be refined into a divine weapon, allowing the divine weapon to carry the Phoenix primordial fire. Other than that, it was also extremely precious to the Fire Phoenix clan. The Sacred Flame sect leader's eyes lit up. This Phoenix primordial firestone was not small. It was enough to forge several divine weapons. You should have more than this, right? The Sacred Flame sect leader probed. The rest have been handed over to the clan. This is the only one left. If you're not satisfied, I can't do anything about it, Yongwu said with his hands spread out. The Sacred Flame sect leader knew that Yongwu was lying, but he could not force Yongwu. Since Yongwu dared to come to the Sacred Flame sect, he must have been prepared to be threatened. The Sacred Flame sect leader did not want to offend such a young, invincible emperor. As the saying went, it is better to have one more friend than one more enemy. He understood this simple logic. Yongwu paid a piece of divine material in exchange for a wisp of divine fire kindling. Although it was not equivalent, it was enough for him to cultivate in the holy ground of fire for 7 days. The holy ground of fire was the place where the Sacred Flame sect trained their saints. It had a wonderful effect. As for what effect it had, Yongwu was not very clear. He had only heard his great-grandmother mention it. If he had the chance to cultivate in the holy ground of fire after arriving at the Sacred Flame sect, he would definitely gain something. This was also the reason why Yongwu made this request. However, he did not know that it was very difficult to gain something by cultivating in the holy ground of fire for a few days. The Sacred Flame sect leader was really a fox. After the two of them reached an agreement, they carried out the transaction. The Sacred Flame sect leader took a wisp of sky-burning divine fire kindling and gave it to Yongwu. The sky-burning divine fire had been branded with a mark of the Sacred Flame sect's ancestor. It was similar to the Pill clan's peach-pink flame and had intelligence. It was not difficult to get a wisp of divine fire kindling from it. The Sacred Flame sect leader was very considerate. He arranged a secluded cultivation room for Yongwu. He did not stand on ceremony. After entering the secluded cultivation room, he released blue demoness to devour the sky-burning divine fire kindling. This god-level divine fire kindling was very violent. Even a saint-level blue demoness would not be able to refine it easily. It is too difficult for blue demoness to improve with this little bit of divine fire kindling. At least 10 more wisps should be enough, Little Hay muttered to herself. Then, she disappeared from the secluded cultivation room and ran toward the Sacred Flame sect's forbidden grounds. Little Hay was small, but she was fast. She also understood formations. There were no obstacles here that could stop her. Also, she wanted to avoid detection. Even old monster Tong Tian could not discover her. She rushed to the sky-burning divine fire kindling's location. It was a volcanic area. The divine fire was worshipped here. The divine fire had long been alive. It was called the sky-burning divine fire, and was also the divine fire of the heavenly god sect. Little Hay sneakily stole a few wisps of divine fire kindling's power. She did not notice anything strange. After all, the fire power it emitted was too great. It was all around a volcano. Even if she sensed a decrease, she did not care about the little bit of power that was lost. Little Hay returned to the secluded cultivation room again. Yongwu had already refined that wisp of divine fire kindling. Little Hay, where did you run off to? Yongwu asked. Where else can I run off to? I want to get the divine fire kindling for you. Hurry and refine it. Blue demoness should be able to improve by a lot. Little Hay said and spat out the divine fire kindling. Damn, Little Hay, you actually did this kind of thing. You won't be discovered, right? Yongwu said in shock. Who can discover what this immortal emperor wants to do? Hurry and refine it. Otherwise, you will really be discovered. Little Hay urged. Yongwu knew Little Hay's ability. He did not argue and urged Blue Demonis to refine the divine fire kindling. This was not the original divine fire kindling's power. At most, it was a bit of divine fire kindling's power. However, the divine fire kindling's level was very high. Even the divine fire kindling's power was not small. After Blue Demonis devoured it, her firepower increased by a lot. You still can't break through? Yang Wu asked Blue Demonis. It's not enough. This isn't the original divine fire kindling's power. It can only increase my firepower, but it can't help me break through, Blue Demonis answered. Now that it had reached intermediate holy fire level, it indeed needed to absorb a large amount of firepower to level up to advanced holy fire level. It seems like I'll have to look for advanced divine fire kindling for you. Chapter 1168. He was not in a hurry to find the fire seed. The most important thing now was to enter the Fire Shadow Holy Land and cultivate. The Fire Shadow Holy Land was an excellent place for the Sacred Flame sect to cultivate their saints. It was also a unique place in the transcendent world. Yang Wu guessed that it must be an impressive grotto heaven, but when the Sacred Flame sect's saint brought him there, he was dumbfounded. This was not a blessed enclave at all. Instead, it was a projection of a flame. Aside from the projection of a ball of flame, the surrounding area was completely empty. There was nothing else worth noticing. Are you sure this is your Fire Shadow Holy Land? Yang Wu thought that the Sacred Flame sect was playing with him, and he was dissatisfied. The Sacred Elder laughed. He, of course it is. Then how am I supposed to cultivate here? Yang Wu frowned and asked. The sect leader only ordered me to bring you here. I can't help you with anything else. I will come back in 7 days. The Sacred Elder said and turned to leave. Yang Wu really wanted to grab him and beat him up. What kind of attitude was that? Looks like I've been played. Yang Wu said unhappily. What are you playing with? This is really a wonderful place. Little Hay said from his shoulder. Oh, what did you see? Yang Wu asked. Go to the place where the flame shadow is, Xiao He said. Yang Wu did as he was told and walked toward the position of the flickering flame shadows. When he walked to the position of the flame shadow, something strange happened. A shadow quietly appeared in front of him, and it actually looked exactly like him. He was instantly stunned. What is going on? Yang Wu asked Little Hay. The Fire Shadow Holy Land. This fire shadow can condense your shadow to train with you. Not bad. Little Hay replied. Don't tell me half the story. Tell me more clearly. You'll know when you hit it. Hit my own shadow? Am I stupid? You are stupid. In the end, Yang Wu could not help but attack the shadow. Something strange happened at this moment. When he hit the shadow actually attacked him first. He didn't have time to react and was punched by the shadow. Bang! The power of this punch was solid and did not feel illusory at all. It directly sent Yang Wu flying. What's going on? Yang Wu was still baffled after he was sent flying. The shadow did not give chase and remained in its original position. Little Hay didn't say anything else. She lay on her stomach and yawned as if she couldn't be bothered with Yang Wu anymore. Yang Wu did not place much hope on Little Hay. He studied the shadow carefully and was not in a hurry to make a move. He wanted to see how the shadow was formed. The Holy Land of Naruto. Is it possible to fight with one's own shadow? Yang Wu pondered. After a while, he attacked the shadow again. This time, he was especially vigilant. He didn't want to be hurt by the shadow again. Sure enough, when he attacked, the shadow attacked again, and it was still very fast. He almost couldn't avoid it. After he dodged the shadow's attack, the shadow did not stop like before. Instead, it continued to chase him. That works! Yang Wu exclaimed and entered a defensive state. Armor appeared on his body. Bang! Bang! The shadow's attack was not only fast, but also fierce. Yang Wu was beaten back, and his blood was boiling. It's so strong. Yang Wu was shocked again. His defensive power was so strong that even ordinary saints couldn't do anything to it. The shadow's power was a threat to him. He had to take it seriously. Bull Fist. Yang Wu used Bull Fist to attack, but the shadow also used Bull Fist. It was one step faster than him, as if it could predict the future. Yang Wu was hit again. I don't believe that a shadow can hurt me. Yang Wu shouted angrily and seriously dealt with the shadow. The speed of Yang Wu's punches increased, and the strength of his attacks increased. The shadow was also improving, and it was always able to suppress him. Moreover, the battle skills it used were exactly the same as his, which made Yang Wu feel a sense of defeat. Why does the shadow know my attack skills? Is there a high-level formation here? Yang Wu was still exploring the situation. Little Hei's voice sounded. Do you have to be so stupid? This place is called the Holy Land of Naruto, and it naturally has something to do with the shadow. This shadow is actually your real shadow. It has all of your power and all of your combat power. Moreover, it knows everything in your heart. It won't be easy for you to defeat it. Once you defeat it, it will be time for you to reap the rewards. Defeating it will be time for me to reap the rewards? Yang Wu muttered to himself and began to fight the shadow seriously. Bull fist, overbearing divine palm. Yang Wu knew that his opponent was his shadow and had the same combat power as him. He fought with all of his strength. As for what rewards he would gain, he would know after he defeated it. The shadow's battle skills were exactly the same as his. When he attacked, the shadow also attacked. Moreover, the shadow was faster than him. Every time he was hit by the shadow, he would be the first to hit the shadow. This forced him to constantly push the power of his Dantian to the limit. He also activated the second stage of his Barbarian God's arms and Wind God's legs to fight with his opponent. Bursts of explosive power constantly flew in all directions. The Holy Land of Naruto was quietly recording the battle between him and the shadow. The more Yang Wu fought, the stronger the shadow became. His black tortoise battle armor was shattered, and his body was heavily injured. Blood spurted out of his mouth. If he didn't have the body of the divine dragon, he would have been killed by the shadow. Soon, Yang Wu discovered that as long as he withdrew his battle intent, the shadow would stop attacking him. You can't even defeat your own shadow. You're so weak. Little Hei said with a smile. Yang Wu ignored Little Hei. He adjusted his breathing and quickly recovered from his injuries. His mind was also recalling the battle just now, trying to figure out what was going on. After a while, Yang Wu attacked again, fighting fiercely with the shadow. This time, he even released the power of his martial Dao, hoping to completely destroy the shadow. But who knew that the shadow also had martial Dao? He was still defeated. In front of the shadow, any small flaw in his defense would be magnified infinitely, becoming the target of the shadow's attacks. Yang Wu once again entered a state of meditation, and when he recovered, he fought again. In the blink of an eye, Yang Wu and the shadow fought for 5 days and 5 nights. He was defeated 7 times in a row and did not obtain a single victory. He finally understood the key to the Holy Land of Naruto. It turns out that fighting with one's own shadow is to find one's own flaws and weaknesses. Only by making up for my own flaws and weaknesses can my fighting strength rise to a higher level. In addition, I have to be faster when fighting, faster than the shadow. Only by suppressing it will I be able to defeat it. Yang Wu sat cross-legged to heal his injuries, and his heart was thoroughly enlightened. When Yang Wu stood up again, his aura was particularly different. He had regained his confidence. Fight! Yang Wu shouted, and attacked the shadow with a thunderous force. The shadow's reaction was definitely not slow. As long as Yang Wu showed a little fighting intent, it would be able to react and fight back. The two sides fought fiercely. Yang Wu was no longer behind the shadow. Being able to fight to a draw with the shadow was his improvement. My fist can be a little faster. My movement technique can be a little more ethereal. My explosive power can be a little stronger. Yang Wu understood his own weaknesses during the fight and was constantly improving. Finally, he was able to predict the shadow's attack in advance, blocking the shadow's attack one step ahead of time and beating the shadow back again and again. Yang Wu's fighting skills were becoming more and more perfect, and his movement technique was becoming more and more flexible. In a spurt of energy, the shadow was completely destroyed. Puff! The stronger Yang Wu was, the stronger the shadow was. Finally, when Yang Wu destroyed the shadow, Yang Wu was also beaten up and blood was spurting out. Yang Wu fell to the ground, and the shadow disappeared. The flame projection began to repeat every battle between him and the shadow. Yang Wu's eyes were fixed on the shadow, and his mind was recording every scene. He saw every flaw and mistake in the process of battle clearly. His back was covered in cold sweat, and he exclaimed in his heart, "I actually made so many mistakes in the battle. If I met an opponent stronger than me, I'm afraid that I would be killed in one move." It's worthy of being called the Holy Land of Hokage. No wonder so many people are thinking about it. Yang Wu sorted out his understanding and felt that he had gained a lot. Defeating himself meant that he had surpassed himself. Although his realm did not increase, his fighting power had increased a lot. This was the mystery of the Fire Shadow Holy Land. 7 days were up, and the sacred elder of the Sacred Flame sect came to welcome Yang Wu. Yang Wu wanted to continue training for a while, and maybe he would gain more. Unfortunately, time was limited, and he could only leave with the others. Yang Wu was led to the VIP resting area, where Sun Do, Yang Ba, and the others were. They came with Yang Wu and had nothing to do. They were basically in seclusion every day to improve their strength. Yang Wu did not disturb them, and instead looked for Little Man. He wanted to know how Little Man was reuniting with her family. Soon, the Sacred Flame sect brought Little Man, and with her were Huangfu Zhanxiong and Huangfu Mingyu. When Huangfu Zhanxiong saw Yang Wu, he knelt down in front of Yang Wu and said, "Benefactor, please accept my bow." Without waiting for Huangfu Zhanxiong to kneel, Yang Wu used his strength to support Huangfu Zhanxiong and said, "Patriarch Huangfu, we are old acquaintances. There is no need for this." "Haha, I knew Saint Master Yang Wu would remember me." Huangfu Zhanxiong laughed and said, "Saint Master Yang Wu, I have a presumptuous request. I hope you can agree to it." "Father, don't tell young master." Little Man quickly stopped him. Huangfu Zhanxiong ignored Little Man and said affectionately, "I only have 2 daughters, and I love them deeply. I don't want to be separated from them. Please let Little Man go and let her live with us. We will definitely repay you in the future." Chapter 1169. Little Man was Huangfu Zhanxiong's daughter. There was no doubt about that. Little Man did not owe Yang Wu anything. On the contrary, Little Man had always been helping Yang Wu, so he had no reason to refuse. Huangfu Mingyu also said from his side, "Yang Wu, please let my sister go." Yang Wu said, "Although Little Man and I are master and servant, I have always treated her as my own sister. I am very happy that she has reunited with you. Of course, I am happy that she can live with you, as long as Little Man is happy." "Young master," Little Man pitifully called out. Although she was related to Huangfu Mingyu and Huangfu Zhanxiong, she always felt closer to Yang Wu. After all, when she was at her most difficult time, it was the young master who took her in and did not look down on her. She was willing to die for the young master. After so many years, she finally returned to the young master's side. Now that she was separated from him again, she felt very sad. "Little Man, don't be sad. You're just going home. It's not like we won't see each other in the future. As long as you have time, you can come and find me at any time. I will also come and see you when I have time," Yang Wu said with a smile. Little Man could no longer speak. Tears flowed down his cheeks. Huangfu Mingyu said from the side, "You don't understand what we mean. We want you to release your control over my sister." Huangfu Zhanxiong also said from the side, "Saint Master Yang Wu, please be magnanimous and let my daughter go." Yang Wu was stunned for a moment. He then explained with a smile, I think you misunderstood. How could I control Little Man? If you didn't control my sister, why would she be so obsessed with you? Can you stop hiding it? If you need anything, just say it. We can't pay you back now, but one day we will. Please let my sister go," Huangfu Mingyu said with dissatisfaction. The Little Man said from the side, "Stop talking. Young master didn't control me. Don't make things difficult for young master. If he didn't control you, why do you keep protecting him and thinking about him? Why don't you listen to father and join the Sacred Flame sect?" Huangfu Mingyu questioned. "I already have a master, so I can't join the Sacred Flame sect," the Little Man replied. "Where is your master? Is it the Yang clan? Or Yang Wu? How can they compare to the Sacred Flame sect? You don't have to lie to us. We're the people closest to you. Huangfu Mingyu spoke as if she was interrogating a criminal. Huangfu Zhanxiong couldn't take it anymore and said, Mingyu, you can't speak to your sister like that. It's because you are the people closest to me that I didn't lie to you. Why don't you believe me? Little man replied helplessly. Father, you saw it. Even now, she still refuses to admit that she's lying. He must be the one controlling sister, Huangfu Mingyu said with certainty. Don't accuse young master, little man replied loudly. She couldn't help but release her aura, scaring Huangfu Mingyu and Huangfu Zhanxiong. Little man was at the peak of the dragon transformation realm. She could even kill a saint. Huangfu Zhanxiong and Huangfu Mingyu couldn't withstand her aura. Little man, don't be angry. Let's go. At this moment, Yang Wu held little man's hand and said gently. Little man calmed down and retracted all her aura. She looked at Yang Wu and said guiltily, Young master, I'm sorry. I've caused you trouble. Most of the time, they don't believe you. Young master believes you. No matter what you do, young master will support you, Yang Wu said with absolute certainty. Immediately after, he prepared to leave the sacred flame sect with little man. Huangfu Zhanxiong and Huangfu Mingyu didn't believe little man. They were family. Yang Wu felt very disappointed. Of course, he could understand. They hadn't lived together before, so it was normal for them to lack mutual understanding and trust. Since that was the case, there was no need for little man to stay by their side. Saint Master Yang Wu, don't be like this. We believe in little man, Huangfu Zhanxiong said anxiously as he rushed in front of Yang Wu and little man. It wasn't easy for him to be reunited with his daughter. How could he just watch her leave? Yang Wu, stop acting. Let my sister go, Huangfu Mingyu said coldly. In the past, she had a good impression of Yang Wu, but after a few years, that little bit of good impression had turned into resentment. She resented Yang Wu for not wanting her and not liking her. When she saw how dependent her sister was on Yang Wu, calling him young master every time she opened her mouth, and calling him young master so intimately and naturally, she was incomparably jealous. Thus, she only felt hatred for Yang Wu and no longer had any good impression of him. You suspect that I did something, but use your brains to think. If I did something to little man, why would I go through so much trouble to send her back to meet you? Could it be that there's something on you that's worth me asking for or using? Or did I send her back because I'm afraid of the sacred fire church? Yang Wu asked a series of questions. He then said, none of these. I treat little man as family, and her family is also my family. It's a pity that you only treat her as family and don't take me seriously. You don't even trust little man. I don't blame you, but I don't want little man to live in an environment where you don't trust her. She's pure and kind and doesn't have any bad intentions. I can't see her become as suspicious and uneasy as all of you. When Huangfu Zhanxiong heard Yang Wu's questions, he was a little confused. Huangfu Mingyu continued to pester endlessly. You're clearly the one who controlled my sister, and you still have the cheek to say that. Do you believe that you won't be able to leave the Sacred Fire sect? You're not allowed to talk about young master like that. Before Yang Wu could say anything, little man had already shouted angrily. Huangfu Mingyu was shocked by little man. She said with a hint of panic, Sister, why are you shouting at me? I'm your family. Back then, I was forced to disguise myself as a man and was sent to the mountain prison. I lived a life worse than death. It was young master who saved me. Later on, young master was afraid that my identity would be exposed, so he entrusted me to Sister Wan Lanxin to take care of me. It was only then that I was able to escape from being mixed with men. Without young master, there wouldn't be me. My life was given to me by young master. So young master is the person closest to me, little man said firmly with tears in her eyes. Huangfu Mingyu wanted to say something, but something seemed to be stuck in her throat. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. She had never met little man, so she couldn't understand how little man had survived back then. Huangfu Zhanxiong's old eyes were wet, and his heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. He really couldn't imagine how his daughter had survived. I'm sorry, Saint Master Yang Wu. I'm sorry, little man. You should leave. If you have time, just come back and visit me and your sister. I've let you down, Huangfu Zhanxiong said with incomparable guilt. Father, Have you forgotten the orders from the sect? Huang Fu Mingyu accidentally revealed some information. Did the Sacred Flame sect ask you to keep little man? Yang Wu frowned. Without waiting for them to respond, the Sacred Flame sect's leader appeared with a few sacred elders and said, "Since little man is a member of the barbarian tribe, she should stay in our sect." Saint Master Yang Wu, you shouldn't have any objections, right? Yang Wu knew that the Sacred Flame sect's leader and the others didn't come with good intentions, but he didn't show any fear. He met their gaze and said, "If little man is willing to stay, I have no objections." After a pause, he emphasized solemnly, "If she doesn't want to stay, no matter who comes, I'll take her away, even if I have to die." Young master, little man was extremely touched. "You don't have to say anything. Young master is asking if you want to stay or not. Don't worry about young master. If young master wants to take you away, no one can stop him," Yang Wu said confidently. "I've already met father and sister. I don't have any regrets. I'll visit them again in the future when I have time," little man replied. "All right, then let's go." Yang Wu nodded gently. Then he looked at the Sacred Flame sect's leader and said, "Sect leader, please let us leave. I don't want to be enemies with your sect." "Haha, you should know that this is our territory. It's easy to come, but it's not that easy to leave." The Sacred Flame sect's leader laughed. "Sect leader, are you really going to do this?" Yang Wu asked. "If she stays, you guys can leave. I won't mistreat her, and I'll nurture her with all my might. We'll give her the freedom she wants. Otherwise, you guys can stay with her," the Sacred Flame sect's leader said with certainty. "You'll regret it. You're really confident. Our Sacred Flame sect has been around for 100,000 years. We've seen all kinds of storms. Even if your entire Yang family comes, it won't help. So, don't force yourself. Young master, why don't I stay? You guys can leave first. Since we're here, let's leave together. Little Hay, show them what you're made of." After Yang Wu's voice fell, the Sacred Flame sect's sect-protecting array suddenly activated. Swoosh, swoosh. 10,000 rays of array light enveloped heaven and earth, forming a terrifying force that could destroy all living things at any time. Why is the sect-protecting array activated? Who's so bold to activate the sect-protecting array without permission? Could it be that there's an enemy attack? What's going on? To keep Yang Wu and a few others here, there's no need to activate the sect-protecting array, right? The Sacred Flame sect's leader and a group of sacred elders were surprised. They did not understand why the sect-protecting array had been activated. "Let's go. Otherwise, everyone in the Sacred Flame sect will die with us," Yang Wu said calmly. The Sacred Flame sect's leader revealed an extremely shocked expression and said, "You did this." "Haha, I don't have such ability," Yang Wu sneered. After a pause, he added, "My companion was bored and took a stroll around your sect. He helped you look for loopholes in the array. He didn't have any bad intentions towards you, but you wanted to force us. So sorry." The Sacred Flame sect's leader's face was completely ashen. The sacred elders revealed panicked expressions. The sect-protecting array was of great importance and could not be lost. This was a divine array. Even if the heaven-reaching old monster came, it could destroy it. If such an array was controlled by the enemy, it would be a disaster. They could not figure out what kind of living being could control their sect-protecting divine array so easily. Even they did not have such ability. "Good, very good. Yang Wu, quickly make him stop. Otherwise, you won't be able to bear the consequences," the Sacred Flame sect's leader said sternly. "I'm going to die. What's there to be afraid of? If I can drag more people to die with me, I'll be more than happy," Yang Wu said calmly. "You win.